Well, I say every day it's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.
We're not qualified.
Who are you?
Explorers in the further regions of experience.
Did you not listen?
Then the hell with you.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome into the 189th episode of Screaming Into the Void, the show where we talk about whatever the hell we feel like, and today, boy, are we gonna. My name is Samuel the Infamous. Joining me today, we have Caucasian Sasquatch.
What I do?
Say hi. Say hi to the
Hi,
people.
I'm Sasquatch. People.
We have Abe.
Yo, what's going on?
Not much. Welcome in, everybody. We are live currently on. Oh, and last minute edition, Shadow of Hawk.
Yo, what up?
Shadoo.
What's up?
Yo,
We're we're live currently on Twix, YouTube, and Rumble, two separate YouTube channels, Caucasian Sasquatch and Samuel the Infamous. If you're in any of those places, drop a comment, let us know you're here, and we'll do our best to not be dicks about it.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Promises.
That said, a couple pieces of housekeeping before we get rolling. Number one, pinned at the top of the chat on Rumble and YouTube, you will see a Give Send Go link. That's for our good friend Gal. Her and her brother are looking for some help. Goal is 6,000. We're getting closer. Actually, haven't even looked at what that is today. Last night it was just over 4,100. So not too shabby. And like I said, I'm going to keep showing this until that goal is met. So if you can, please do. If you can't, please share it out. The other piece of housekeeping is that in 2 weeks' time, on May 16th, there will be no SITV. I have to go to my nephew's graduation party, and I'm going to get drunk. So I won't be streaming that night. So
Seems like the best time to stream.
yeah, no, it isn't. Look, I'll tell you later backstage what the plan is. I'm not talking about this online, but
Sweet.
but anyway, I won't be available to do any online stuff that night, so I won't be here. I won't be helping out with Exalt Linus that night. It's just because I'm going to be drunk, and that's you don't want that.
That would be a perfect night to come on Dusty's, by the way.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Well, the other thing is I'm not going to be home, so
Well, have you ever met Rocky? Rocky's not home either, and he's always there, so it's okay.
Yeah. So, but that said, that's really it for the major points of housekeeping and all that stuff. I want to start off the show today by first of all apologizing to the audience because I don't really have one. We're gonna wing it like a motherfucker, so buckle in. It's gonna be like stuff has happened, and I'm sure stuff will get brought up, but I don't have like a list of topics today. Partially because, as the guys here know, I woke up about 15 minutes before the show went live, and I didn't really put anything together last night. So,
Bro, how do you think me and Jack do our show?
Right. So that's what we're doing today. We're just gonna wing it. But before we get into that, I'm going to say hello to the chat. We've got Scotty Waddles up first, as he should be first. Like. It's weird when you're not, dude. It's weird when you're not. I appreciate you doing it. We got Zillage with us early even. Howdy, Zillage. We've got Lepeau de Fleur. Howdy. Good to see you. Old Blindy, as always. Good to see you. And I think that's everybody so far. And like I said earlier, drop a comment wherever you be on the YouTubes, the Twixes, or the Rumbles. I don't know why I'm adding S's onto the ends of everything. That's
it's little Rublies.
Retarded.
You probably
Probably because you've been hanging out with me too much. Because that's something
I
I do.
haven't really though. I think I'm just tired and
That too.
half retarded.
Shadows
Only
of
half?
dog scissors.
Half.
Yeah, that's what I said. Half. Fuck you.
I don't believe you.
I think maybe part of that retardation is your Celtic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's possibly. We got Kane's Corso in the chat. Welcome in. Okay, so to start off,
What's up, Titty Bug?
we've got the most important question of the century.
Here we go.
I was having a conversation with my sister the other day. My sister who runs a sex toy shop.
Mm-hmm.
And in it, she detailed the adventures of certain customers who were coming in. And I'm not going to give like identifying details about these people or anything like that. You know, I don't even know who they are myself. A man and a woman came in looking for, you know how various strap-on harnesses, you can insert different toys kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Right.
my.
So they were looking for a new dildo-esque thing to fit into the harness she was going to use to peg him with. As if that wasn't bad enough.
Is this going to go into bad dragon territory?
Not quite. They were extremely picky about what kind of sex toy they were going to be doing, because you can get dildos that have, synthetic balls, no balls. Now, I'm sure you guys are aware of the whole internet futanari thing, balls or no balls.
Yeah, the food question.
Fortunately.
Yeah.
Right. What's your preference? And this guy claimed that if it had balls on it, which by the way, the balls aren't just for looks, it's also a backstop, so you don't end up with it like inside your colon and need surgery to get it removed, but whatever.
Yeah.
This guy insisted that even synthetic balls somehow made it gay. But if the dildo didn't have balls, then it wouldn't be gay while his wife fucks him in the ass with it.
Why did I know this was the route this was taking?
Somehow, I suspected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, this brought to mind a scenario in my own brain that has nothing to do with that dude, but does have to do with his outlook on life. Take a sheep. Say the sheep is a male sheep. The sheep has been castrated, as sheep often are.
I don't like what this
Now
is.
you introduce a Scotsman to this equation because
I
you know how
I
it
don't
goes.
want to be here. I don't like this.
No, hold on. Wait for it. Now, the sheep has been castrated. The Scotsman is, being a Scotsman. He starts railing the sheep. Now,
Okay,
my
this
question to
will
you,
not be a Scotsman, it'll be a Welshman. for
my
sure.
question to you
Same shit.
is the sheep more gay because the Scotsman still has his balls, or is the Scotsman less gay because the sheep has no balls?
No, dude, that's just bestiality.
Well, they're
Both
both dudes,
deserve
so
to-
it's still gay.
Both deserve to be burned at the stake. I don't see why we're debating.
That's not the
that
question. You're
particular
changing the
detail.
parameters of the
All right.
question. Answer the question as
All
it
right.
is.
Pray I don't
All right.
alter it further.
Squatch, go.
I am going to answer your question, as I often do, with a better question. How do sheeps let you know that they're turned on?
Yes, the
All right, get out.
bad places.
Why am I?
Hey,
affiliated
you ain't got no
with
hook,
you
bro. Not this
people?
week. but
Why am I
I think
affiliated with you
it's
people?
the entire concept is gay, and some part of that is evil, and all of it is wrong.
It's
There's, I mean,
bestiality.
shouldn't
It's
have
not
involved a
gay
Scotsman
or
in the first
straight.
place. So, to respond to Abe, animals have chromosomes. Those chromosomes have a male and a female, and
Yes,
if you do
animal
things the way,
chromosomes.
sure, and I would assume there's no consent involved anywhere
None.
in this.
So
I don't
it's
think the
all rape.
Scotsman consented to being a Scotsman.
It's a Welshman. It's
No
not
true
a Scotsman.
Scotsman does.
It was a Scotsman before penetration, a Welshman after.
I can tell you he is definitely not a Scotsman or an Englishman or an Irishman.
That's the see. Here's where you're losing me, Abe. Is that's That's where you draw the line. That's the issue with the whole scenario.
Oh, no. That's just where we
Don't
start.
lie.
Let's get the nationality of the offender correct first.
Well, I do know that if it was Somalian, he'd be eating the sheep.
Right. I mean, it's just trying to blow up my whole, like, you know, why do Scotsmen fuck sheep at the edge of cliffs is so they push back harder joke.
Right.
There's not that many cliffs in Wales. But there are in the Highlands.
There are some big ass
and
mountains.
people get fucking weird in the Highlands. It happens.
So I think it's all gay and everybody gay. think I'm right.
Fair enough. I mean, I personally,
I think fucking an animal supersedes being gay.
Okay, but that doesn't erase the stages to getting there, if you get what I'm saying. Like, so yes, it's a sheep. I get that. It's not a person, right? But you don't know that Scotsman may have special feelings for that specific sheep. And now that he's penetrated, it's a Welshman. I have
to defend Scotland vigorously now as an Englishman.
I've already admitted that once penetration occurs, it's Welsh. All right, I'll make you a deal. I'll stop bringing up the Scotsman if you can go say that one Welsh village name that's like 7 miles long that got 4 signs.
Well,
you only get 2 tries.
Everyone pronounces it as go go goch.
But that's only
even
part of the
locals.
Name. Yeah, because it's a really long, stupid name.
Yeah, and it's really fucking stupid.
And it translates into something like the town between the river and the forest, above the this and below the that and next to the this, but not that one over there.
Yeah.
No, you see, that's what they want you to believe. What it actually translates to is the one town in Wales in which people do not fuck sheep.
I don't know that that's the case. I think it had something to do with St. Tistilio, who was well known for fucking
I might be
sheep.
making an assumption there.
Yeah, to doubt.
Because it's a nice place.
I've seen video of it. It's fucking beautiful, man. It looks
nary
like
a sheep to be found.
At least no one happy
I've actually
sheep.
got a photograph of me stood next to that town sign. I'll see if I can find it for you.
What is it, from like 25 feet away? And you look like an ant? It's like 20 foot long.
Yeah, kind of.
Aerial photograph.
All right, now that we got that out of the way. All right, fine, fuck it. It's a Welshman. Doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter. Somebody who is well known for flipping their kilt up when presented with, woolly animals.
Trigger him again. You're going to trigger him again. Go ahead, Abe. Say it.
Okay, Welshmen do also have kilts, but they're not the same kinds of kilts.
Yeah, but Americans don't know or care about that.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Barely an American. I'm just kidding.
All right, no, I'll give you that, man. Like, we got a lot more generations outside of America than we have inside of America.
Squatch. Well, I'd like to argue that Squatch just did a very woman thing, where you make a general statement and
That's
they go,
'cause I'm your mama.
But exception. No, you're not.
Shadu, I'm your dad.
Also, not true.
No, those people that raised you, we hired them.
I would like to point out that Abe is making a literal no true Scotsman.
Very literal, yeah. Yeah. It's got nothing to do with the philosophical argument whatsoever. It's literally, this would not be a Scotsman.
I don't think you can make that claim for all of Scottish history.
Okay, all right. Can we go with Australian and just skip the whole thing?
Yeah. Do they have sheep in Australia?
Yes, sheep's what established
I don't
most
think
of
Grant's going to
Australia
take too
with.
kindly to that.
He's not.
We'll get together and care later. Besides, he doesn't watch us. No one watches us.
No, he does. He does actually.
Agree that they're Aboriginal Australians.
No, that's just racist. You know how it works. You can't be racist against the white Australians or the white Scotsmen or the white Welshmen. But those Abos,
maybe it's judgmental to say that about Australian Aboriginal culture.
Right. So I refer you to the original question: is the sheep less gay, or is the
I don't think the
fucker
sheep's
more
gay at all. Without consent, he doesn't choose anything. So the
Animals
sheep
aren't
is a
gay or
victim.
straight.
The sheep is a victim in this mechanization, right? The guy, however,
Animals
is
like to
both
fuck.
sick and gay. They don't like to be forcefully fucked, that I'm aware of. I don't talk to animals. But I would assume that I don't. Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so without consent, the sheep has no bearing on the gayness of it. Male, female, none
Now
of that
hold on,
matters.
hold
It's
on. I do have a question actually. Sam said a Scotsman, like an actual like descended from
This
the
is
people that were
this is
killing
where
the Roman
we end up.
Scotsmen, the people who were fighting Romans and Saxons and Angles Scotsmen, or I have a piece of paper, but my ancestors are from fucking Morocco Scotsmen.
No, I'm talking about somebody who lives in Scotland sometime within the last fucking 500 years.
Right, but that
Or
could
1,000 years,
include
whatever.
that could include someone whose ancestors are Moroccan,
Stop it. Get
or
some
someone
help,
whose
son.
ancestors are actual Scottish. So I want to know, like, is it someone whose people are known for fucking animals, or like someone who's not?
Scottish people are not known for fucking animals, no.
Right, but third worlders are. So again, that comes back to the question: are we talking about an actual Scotsman or someone from the third world?
Hold on, that just opened a whole new fucking chapter of the concept.
It's a
You're gonna have to work
hypothetical.
with
I
me
don't
on
think
this.
it's that deep.
But you're gonna have to work with
the
me on this.
actual nationality of the person, I think, is largely irrelevant.
Well,
So-
no, it does, because if they're from the third world, they're just inherently gay.
No, so here's the thing about that, right? there is a reference, as I understand it, in that their book that them Slama dudes like to fuck around with, and you know the Admiral Akbar and snack bar shit. Anyway, if you hold coitus with an animal, you must dispatch the animal. Weren't you the one who whatever this was before? Dispatch the animal immediately in halal manner, and then dispose of it to the they don't call them Gentiles, the infidels. They should be burned, right? And then it's not unclean to do so. And I'm like, okay, so let's apply this to our Welshman. What does he do with the animal afterwards?
I mean,
Because if he serves him tea and crumpets, that's a little gay.
I was gonna
Well,
say, yeah, no, I
yeah.
don't know, take him out for a night on a town, show him a movie or some shit. I mean, I
Can you
personally think
imagine
that's
that
a little
sheep's
backwards. I
evening?
figure if you're gonna do something like that to an animal, you should treat him to a good time beforehand. But whatever.
Okay. But it's what happens after. I think that
Take
might
it out
be
to
more
dinner.
important.
Buy her some flowers.
Sit and watch her eat them.
Oh yeah, chew that cut, baby.
Yeah, eat those fucking tulips, bitch.
Anyway, yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we're starting the show. this is. I
This
had
is
to bring it
already
up.
a great show.
I was
Anyway,
having,
What?
like I said, I was having this conversation with my sister, and she's like, I don't know. Like that was her answer, and I was like, well, I'm definitely bringing this up on Saturday.
So here's my final question, and we can move on. Does it matter? I mean, beyond legality and whatnot, you know.
Ultimately, like morally and legally, there's like everything in the world wrong with that shit. But long term, 100 years, 1,000 years, who's gonna fucking care?
well, I would say to answer the question, animals aren't straight or gay. Those
Some
aren't
of them are.
terms that apply to them.
Some of them are.
They just like to fuck.
Some of them
B,
are gay.
So I raised
Welshmen definitely
a
love
whole
to fuck.
bunch of beagles,
And
man. And there is a section of the population that don't make the choice to be gay. They just are. And I found this out the hard way because we had a particular batch of beagles that several of these beagles went on to be coon hunting
just
Grand Night
happens.
champions. One of these Grand Night champions was gay. His name was Ed. And we sold that dog, I know, 10 times. We would sell him as breeding stock. He would be gone for 2-3 months, and then they'd come back and either give him back or sell him back to us for a much reduced price, because a non-breeding stud dog is virtually worthless. So we had this neighbor that lived, 4 or 5 miles away, and he finds out that this particular dog was brethren of these other dogs, and it's like, oh shit, you mean to tell me that's that group? And we're like, yeah. He's like, all right, I got this. He's like, I'll give you $500 to rent him for 3 days. And we're like, we've had professionals try to get this dog to breed. Homeboy takes this dog for 3 days. 90 days later, there's puppies. How'd you do that? He's like, he just did the finger, makes the nose thing. It's like, it's all a secret, bro. And dude, it was, when everybody get drunk around the campfire and he wasn't around, there would be all kinds of theories to how he's getting this dog that will not mount a female to impregnate puppies. We're talking in vitro. We're talking about all kinds of stuff and can't figure it out.
Red Rocket.
Couple of cycles of this goes by, and I finally caught a glimpse of what he was doing. What he had done is he had a bunch of dogs himself, and he found one of the male dogs that this dog particularly liked, and would put the female and the male in the same pen, with the male having basically a diaper on, right? So he couldn't do nothing, and then put Ed in there with him. And after a few days, Ed would basically lose his mind and tag the female dog just out of frustration. And I was like, dude, that is a level of evil I don't think I've ever actually considered.
That is some fucking Drukari shit right there.
Nice.
And to think that people had paid thousands of dollars for this dog, right, on several occasions. And we tell them before they got him, look, there is no return policies, no refunds, no nothing like that. We might buy the dog back, but only if he's unharmed and all that cool stuff. Because it means bloodline was freaking priceless, basically. And yeah. It's not always a choice. And certainly not a choice for that sheep. Or the Scotsman.
Yeah.
Welshman.
I mean, Erin Laura's coming in. She's saying, I do believe that real homosexuality isn't a choice. It's how you're born. I don't judge. I'm still going to make gay jokes because they're hilarious. On the last part, totally agree. I'm not convinced that being gay isn't a choice, because I've seen old married couples with dozens of fucking children. And I'm just like, no, that's absolutely a choice that they made to make it together. Because yeesh. Look at both of them, and I was like, how did you guys get through that without, grilled cheese references and vomit in the back of your throat? But I get what you're saying. I don't necessarily agree, but I do get what you're saying. I do think actual homosexuality is in large part a choice. I think that certain drives and feelings are probably innate to individuals, but how you act on them, what you choose to do with them, is the choice. And I think that's where it counts.
Okay. So what would happen, do you reckon, if I went and got lizard DNA and sent it into 23andMe?
I think you'd get some random bullshit back.
What kind of lizard are we talking about?
Bearded dragon.
Oh, so like a inbred degenerate lizard.
I mean, sure.
They're the pugs of the lizard world, man.
Okay.
Really
right.
weird if you got the results back and it was like 43% Anunnaki, and you're like, what the fuck?
First of all, how would we rate that? But that's beside the point. If you bring up the thing backstage, I'll let this guy explain it to us.
Check this out. This guy was convinced 23andMe wasn't legit, so he decided to take some of the saliva from his lizard and send in some lizard DNA. Just try it out. See what 23andMe comes back with. And you would be shocked. It comes back with a makeup of 40% Iranian, Caucasian. 6% that, whatever, all the different percentages showing all the different places that you'd come from, even like what kind of food you'd like, what area you've come from. This a lizard. It's a lizard. Check this out. This guy was convinced
Okay.
23andMe.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, that's
Because I've always said that don't do that. Don't send your fucking DNA up to these people because they're not there to help you find your genealogical roots. They're there to collect data. And they're collecting
you
your
did this
data.
with the
And you don't
chip-
know what they're doing with your data, and everything else is superfluous fucking nonsense. They're selling you something that isn't
Yeah, if you
that
did this
isn't real.
with a chip, it would come back like almost identical to a human's.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is they're not actually testing the DNA. Like I think the guy in the video is correct. They're making this shit up. Because that's not what the product is. You're the product.
point.
You know, this makes me feel better, actually. This makes me feel really, really good because apparently my mom at some point did this, and I found out that I'm, because of that, 0.02%,
Yeah.
0.02% Ashkenazi.
Mudblood.
Right, okay.
Jew!
Here we go.
But because
Fucking
this is
hell.
all fake, because we're finding out that this is fake, I'm feeling like that's actually fake. Actually,
You're
gonna
absolutely
let my-
right. You're 100% Jewish.
here, I'm just gonna go message my brother because he had a bigger crash out than I did about this. Let me just let him know.
So, about that, you understand that DNA is basically 4 tag molecules, right?
Mhm.
And how they're arranged and in what order they're arranged determines all of the expressions and all of that stuff, right? Okay, so if you took a horse's DNA and you put it into this system that only looks for human DNA, it would
Exactly.
only look for matches and sequences and would come up with something probably looking a bit like this. There's one problem with it, though, and I'm not sure this even accounts. A lizard's DNA has like 500 more base pairs than ours. It's like got a bunch more shit in it.
Yeah.
So would it
Well
come
done.
back as like 100, like 70% Anatolian,
No.
50% Iranian, 97% like Scottish? Like, would it just come back with bigger percentages or
It'd
something?
be kind of random. It wouldn't really have any direct relationship to the lizard itself, but rather to the testing method and specs that the
Yeah,
machines were set
that's
up
because
to.
the models
Right.
aren't trained on lizard DNA.
I mean, you tell it it's a human when you put it in there. It's like, this is human. What kind of human?
Yeah.
Okay, it's this kind of human. Can you trust that? I don't think so, myself. But I don't have any evidence to tell you that they're joshing it anyway. So, whatever.
Well, that's kind of where I'm going. Is like either the people who are running 23andMe are aware of that, or they're not.
Yeah, but like
It would take-
60% of human DNA is the same as a banana.
And bananas are delicious. That explains long pork.
They're shaped perfectly
Hey, it
for the
doesn't do
human
it.
head by God himself. Oh, wait, no. That was selective engineering. My bad. That wasn't God. I don't know who the Christian was that said that, but I'd really like to shoot him with paintballs at night while he's walking his dog.
No, it's I don't know. I've never. I've always looked at
Put
it
'em in
as
the
kind
freezer.
of like you hear stories, obviously Alex Jonesy type stuff, where governments are collecting data and putting it on ice in like these like like massive archives of just stuff like that. And I've always seen 23andMe as a front for exactly that.
So there's also a few things out there that has to be taken into consideration. So there have been a very rare handful of people throughout history who had something of a very unique genetic composition. There was a guy from South America who would heal slices without scars, never developed a scar, but when he did develop a scar and it was from a burn, the scar killed him. It developed into a keloid and like exploded his brain or something. I don't remember exactly. It stopped me from being able to breathe or something. I can't remember. But they were in the process of trying to break down why his healing factor worked the way it did when he died. And when he died, they kind of lost the ability to actually
the
tinker
lizard
with his
DNA.
living genome. There are other people, you know, some of this can be achieved through extensive lifetime training, you know, like some of the yogis and some of the Buddhist priests and what. Why do you always eat chips in the middle of the show, bro?
Every fucking time, man. It's
One,
the Jew in you, isn't it? Isn't it?
one, because
Admit
it
it.
annoys you guys. Two, it's trail mix.
I don't care what it is, man. Stop the crinkling.
Damn it.
In a few minutes, he's going to be over there squeezing his water bottle to the tune of 99 lift balloons.
I mean, his juice box.
Anyway, what I'm getting at is having the human genome at the fingertips. That's really cool, right? This can give you an awful lot about, you know, the types of struggles your specific genetic heritage has been through. But there's a lot missing there. When you inherit your genes from your parents, you don't actually inherit clean copies of them. You inherit a weird mix of them. And so 90% or so of the genes that your parents carry, not 90, it'd be like 45 or something like that, but it's 45 from both sides. So you only end up with a very unique sequence of traits of your own. That's what we can't figure out in the greater scheme of things, is how that actually works. Like, what is it that's different between me and Sam that made Sam but made me with bone spurs, right? Sam, he's over there, he does what he does. You look at our genes, not too different.
Oh, we all coughing today. Okay.
I'm gonna die.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Sasquatch has got the genes for dying from coughing.
Just a little bit.
Right.
I'll
Mutation.
get better.
That's all it is.
But my point is
I
like,
don't know the right word for it, but yeah.
my point is there are individual traits that are literally individual. Mother Nature's kitchen, you can't test for this stuff. The only way to find it is basically in nature. You know, you find some dude whose fast twitch muscles are 12% faster than the fastest ever registered, and then you find a kid in freaking junior high over here whose fast twitch response is 2% stronger than his, right? That type of stuff. If you were to hypothetically want to put together a, I don't know, super soldier program or something like that, what you would want to do is get a huge selection of samples from all across all kinds of different populations and then sort for effectiveness, right?
Yeah.
You would search for these genes in the population and look at the people that have them and how they, you know, compare to one another that have the same set of traits. And then you have to do filtration studies to remove the counterintuitive traits that are against whatever genes you're trying to sort out, right? That's a huge amount of data to try to do anything with.
It is. It's I mean, it's we know how huge it is. I mean, you remember what was it? Fucking 20 years ago, they announced they'd finally finished mapping the human genome, but they still didn't know what more than like 2% of any given, you know, genes actually did. Right. And then
So-
periodically you hear about like, oh, we identified this gene or that gene or whatever.
Even when they identify those genes, they do not have any direct evidence of the gene's effect next to other genes, because the weird part about genetics is it's not always whether or not something expresses. Sometimes it's how strong it expresses and when, right? So you can have a gene whose purpose is to grow you a tail, and it will try to grow you a tail, but then you have other genes that kick on later and say, no, you don't grow a tail, and you end up with a coccyx bone about this long. And if you don't get that gene, you end up with a tail.
Yeah. Or
There are
I
certain
guess
genes that we know what they do, but there are an awful lot that we don't
Yes.
Okay,
So-
so even on the genes that we know what they do, with big, huge fucking parentheses, like quotations around them, we know what they do. They
Yeah, because you got to take into account epigenetics as well.
Sure. We don't know what other effects other genes nearby or even not related might have on that gene's expression. And so it might not simply be a case of we know what this gene does. It's more along the lines of we know what this gene does in this individual because we haven't tested it with other epigenetics and other sites.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then you take into account the fact that like some genes are inactive, right? Some genes
Yeah.
are you got your active genes and you got your inactive genes, and the inactive ones seem to be outnumber the active ones, and we don't know why they're inactive or how they would interact with the active ones if they were activated.
So here's a weird thing about that. Most of your inactive genes, or not most, I'd say slightly under half of your inactive genes in your genome can be directly linked to your particular ancestors' survival of specific diseases and viruses, where we took on parts of the genetic code in order to become immune to a virus that was found in your ancestors' environment.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Obviously, I'm no geneticist.
And if you want to get deep down into the nitty gritty of it, you can look at the dog DNA, and it has some very enlightening clues as to what some things do versus don't do. Like, for instance, you've got the take the pug, right? You would expect to find that the pug has a lack of certain genetics to create that little pug face, right? But in reality, the normal dog genetic sequence is available, and then additional genetic clips have been added through selective breeding to limit the expression of the normal dog shape, which results in the pug nose.
Yeah. You know, when I was a kid, I just figured they smashed all the newborns with a shovel.
That would have helped them breathe.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe.
that's about it.
Their
That is
last.
about as cruel
Yeah.
as what happened to the pugs.
Yeah. So I just figured they started doing that. They just flattened their faces until it took, and they just started being born that way.
Humanity has a
Jeez.
special seat in hell for what we've done to the pugs.
Is it next to? Is it in the special hell?
Maybe. I don't know. I just know that that is a level of torment of which should not have been inflicted upon any living thing
We won't be
except
living at that.
for.
I agree.
I,
The fact that we
I
have
was going to make a
selectively
joke that I
bred
can't
a.
make.
Oh, go ahead. You can't make it. That's why I was cutting you off. Jesus Christ. The fact that we selectively bred something that in a pack is an apex predator into something whose greatest survival story is surviving the night without having sleep apnea, right? That's a fall from grace, my bro.
No, and that was done entirely through selective breeding.
Yeah. I get that.
You know, and you can just, I mean, look at the little things. They still remember somewhere deep down in their souls that they were wolves once.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell whenever they hear dogs outside barking, they get all excited.
Mm-hmm.
They like want to go join in the hunt. That's not that's not going to be a thing.
Yeah, that's not happening.
On the other hand, imagine aliens come through and they decide pugs are the absolute peak of dog kind, and they eradicate all other canids, leaving
Most
only
advanced
pugs.
evolution of dog.
Right, the most advanced evolution of dog, and they are the dominant species of this planet. They enslave all of us to the pug.
Isn't that what
Now
happened
what?
in Men in Black?
Kinda.
You know, no, that would but that'd be like coming back and you know, getting what was his name, like Charles II or whatever, the Spanish Habsburg king with the fucking water in his head and the one shriveled walnut for a
I
testicle?
thought it was I'm pretty sure it was Ferdinand. It was like Ferdinand the Fourth or something like that.
That doesn't really matter. I don't know. Some Spanish dude who was, inbred as fuck. That'd be like seeing him and being like, this is the pinnacle of human evolution.
And an AI might. No competition
Sam,
for
you were right.
breeding, no competition for food,
Yeah.
no competition
Maybe.
for any of that. It's
Sam, you were right. It was Charles II.
I thought it might be.
Yeah, no, I was wrong.
Wasn't Ferdinand
Yeah, he was alive
married to
back
Isabella, and they were the ones who funded the
Ferdinand
Columbus
was a
expedition, I think.
Ferdinand was a Bourbon. That is correct. I was misremembering. He was a Frenchman.
So
Charles
he
was
gay.
German. No, I think he was just retarded. I don't think he had like any proclivities. I think he was just non-functional as a person.
And yet king.
genetics is a bitch, ain't it?
I mean,
It's how
and that's
kings work.
was it. I'm trying to remember if in Spain, no, the monarchy had absolute power. No, fuck, dude, your European politics at a certain point become weird because you've got king like during some periods where kings are absolute monarchs, and then like the same country like 50 years later, it's like, yeah, you're just you come up with an idea and we go, okay, maybe, or we just shut you the fuck down because we bought all the rights to run everything.
That's
Kinda like what it-
generally the introduction of parliamentary systems, and the parliamentary
exactly.
system
That's what
can be
happened
in
in the UK.
place. Can be in place with an absolute monarch still riding the throne. If the monarch chooses not to speak up, then Parliament runs everything. But if the monarch walks
Exactly.
out and goes, "Hey, fuck them up,"
Yeah.
things get fucked up immediately while they're trying to figure out why. That's the thing. Like the transition is not existent. Half the people immediately go to fucking shit up, and the other half start arguing about whether or not they're gonna fuck shit up.
Yep, and that's why the American Revolution wasn't a revolution against monarchy. It was a revolution against a really retarded republic that wasn't accepting our system.
What's up, Devil?
What's up?
So,
Pugs or no pugs?
So, bro,
What?
It's just a simple question, bro. Pugs or no pugs?
Yay pugs?
you don't
I
need
know.
context.
How did he guess? Is my question. How did he know?
I feel like I'm being led into it.
No, I was just
Yeah.
random bullshit to try to
It's a
tie it
trap.
into the previous conversation here.
Doug, how do you think I feel? I walked into this shit and then they immediately started talking about fucking goats and cutting off ball sacks.
No, sheep, not goats. Nobody said a fucking thing about goats.
Don't
You're
let
the one who
fact
brought the
be
Middle
story.
East into
Calm
it.
down. He's just prepping for the Middle East. He knows this shit's on like Donkey Kong, and he's gonna have to be fucking goats here directly.
It's like you know how pugs are not wolves.
Just riding
Sheep
in the
are not
Humvee looking at goats going, poor goat.
Oh man. Anyhow, welcome in.
So I got another question for you. If
Mhm.
the plural to mouse is mice, and the plural to goose is geese, shouldn't the plural to moose be meese?
Yes and no. I mean, by any rules that make sense, sure, but we're talking about English.
Yeah, English is a bastard language. It's a mix of Celtic, German,
Yeah,
French,
Yeah, it
Nordic.
doesn't really
like-
make sense.
It's like the English themselves. It's just a bastard mix of generally Northwestern
So-
and Northern Europe.
What they did is they took
Uh,
all of the
excuse
words
you.
they'd ever heard and threw them at Latin until something stuck.
Something like that.
Moosin. I like that. Moosin.
I like moosin too. That's good. I might use that in future. I'm gonna try and make that a thing. I mean, meese is fun to say, but moosin is serious. That's got some weight to it. That's like horror movie.
By the way,
vibes.
did you see my thumbnail for this one?
Yeah, with Betty White, that was fucked up, man.
Yeti on a Betty.
Yeah. I went Yeti in a Betty, but sure.
Yeah, okay, Betty on a Yeti. You've heard of Elf on a Shelf.
Right. I mean, of all the Golden Girls, I guess.
fucking mounting Betty White. Little Betty
No, it's
White
just
doll.
it's just it's Yeti and Betty sitting there smiling at the camera, and on over the thing is the caption: "You've heard of Elf on the Shelf. Now we give you," and you're supposed to come up with it yourself. It's Yeti and a Betty.
And instead of switching positions of the little characters every night to confuse your kids, you change the sexual position.
First of all, your kids aren't involved,
Son of
sir.
Betty
And
White
second of
bent
all,
over.
you're a terrible person. But you do call yourself devil. I'll let that go.
You're the one on top of Betty White, man.
You
Leave the poor
wish
lady
you
alone.
were. Don't lie.
I
She's been
mean,
dead,
not
what, 5
currently.
years now?
Yeah.
Well,
It's long enough for the wormy earth to do its work.
I don't know any other way, dude. I have to lean into it.
Yeah, or as Legitimate First says in Night Watch, my little wormy friends, my wormy helpers. Anyway, sorry, I've been listening to the audiobook of Night Watch again because that fucking book is awesome. But
Tight.
there's a character in it for those of you who don't read Terry Pratchett, whose name he's a gravekeeper. He's a grave digger, lives in the crypts with all the corpses because he likes the company. And his name is Legitimate First because he was. If that joke is lost on you, that means his parents were married when they had him.
You're gonna have to. You gotta tell the rest of it. You can't just do it. Do the thing, dude.
His parents were married when they had him. He was their legitimate first child within wedlock. So they named him Legitimate First.
However, there was neither one of them's first child, just the first legitimate child. And the rest were also not legitimate. So he was the legitimate first. And that's his name.
Yeah. There's all kinds of fun names like that in there. Like you remember there's a character whose name is like Bestiality Johnson. And or Carter. I think it's Bestiality Carter. And when asked about his name, so it's basically very simple. There are 7 brothers and 7 sisters, and all the girls are named after the 7 virtues. So the parents, just being simple country folk, thought it would be appropriate to name the boys after 7 horrifying sins.
I think my favorite book name I've come across in all of reading was an Orson Scott Card book. I'm not sure which one in the series, but it's the Alvin Maker series. And there is a guy in this motherfucker named Armor of God. And I have had that poking around in the back of my head as a middle name for my kid since the dawn of time, bro. Imagine it. James Armor of God. Come on, that is the hardest freaking name ever.
My first kid is going to be called Nebuchadnezzar for sure.
The 3rd or 4th or whatever the fuck we're on now.
The Great.
Well, no, there already was one. And then there was Nebuchadnezzar II who went crazy.
The Great
I mean, you could call him Nebuchadnezzar Maine because Charlemagne was just Charles the Great.
And you know he's going to grow up, be a woman, and call himself Nebby.
I talked a friend of mine into naming a newborn kitten that once because, as I was right, by the way, turned out to be an absolute bastard.
I always
Don't you believe all cats are bastards though? So it kind of like
it's not a belief. It just is.
Get out.
I like names that kind of like how that book was that like either counterpoint each other or connect in some way. So I always thought if I had like twin boys, I'd call one of them Hunter, Shooter, and Fisher Caster because I'm stupid that way. So
that's right. You're stupid that way. That's true.
I am.
I'm glad you realize it. Self-awareness is the first step to helping yourself and things like that.
I am very self-aware. Thank you, Sasquatch.
So I can't even say I can't say my other favorite name combination because the baby mama decided to name my daughter that. So I'm not saying it out loud.
Fair enough.
But it is also from a collection of books, different books, but
Adolf.
Yeah. Not painters, bro.
Yeah.
And not that book.
Hell, infantry.
Well, I just can't get out of my head because you mentioned Armor of God, and now I'm thinking about Constable visit the infidel with explanatory pamphlets.
Yeah, this is the infidel. Well, you know, one thing about at least that particular group of people, they changed their names to join that particular church, right? Armor of God was named Armor of God by his father, who named the other one, I think it was Sword of the Lord, Blade of the Lord, something like that. And one was a merchant, and the other was a soldier.
Hmm. You
One was
imagine
also
that?
an asshole and completely subverted by the devil, and the other one met the devil and shot his ass. It was like 10 seconds. It wasn't even. Well, no, the thing is like Armor of God encounters this unmaking spirit on his knees in a church that had not been consecrated yet, and so he sees what in his mind is the heavenly light of an angel, right? When the brother encounters him, he's trying to get into the Wabash Valley or whatever it is, and the Wabash has a curse over it. And one of the things that this curse does is keep certain types of spirits from being able to enter and exit. And so when he's coming home, before he gets to the last bridge across the Wabash, he encounters this apparently heavenly specter. Beautiful wings, angel, everything, blam. And then he crosses the bridge quoting the bit about how until the end there shall be no clues. You will not know, right? No man shall know the time. And the fact that I could shoot you down with a 45 also means you're not God, bitch. Back off. Because if I pulled the trigger and nothing happened, we might have to take consideration on it. But blam, and he turned into an inside-out rug. Yeah, nah. Splat, shit went all over the woods. You're not God. Right. I could tell by the way my 45 fucked you up.
Yeah, if it turns the bubbles in your hand as you pull the trigger, then
right,
what's going on.
We definitely got to do some reconsiderations of what it means to be a miracle.
Right. Speaking of nothing in particular, have you guys been following this bullshit with all these conservatives carrying water for Andy Serkis's Commie Pro Animal Farm?
Yeah,
because it was distributed by Angel Studios, who is notorious for Sound of Freedom and other such films.
Well, it's also I think they're paying them, and they're just pirating what they want.
They're definitely paying them.
No, they absolutely no. They are directly paying them. Freaking what's her name? Like Riley Gaines, like basically outright said, "Yeah, I was paid to review this movie."
She was paid to repeat the press clip. If you go look at these messages, almost all of them are verbatim. None of these people watch the movie.
I saw Riley Gaines' post in particular, her review in particular, and it reads very sarcastic to me.
I don't know. I don't know much. I don't know enough about her as a person to really comment whether or not it was sarcastic. I just know I saw it and I went, "Okay, cool."
Yeah. The only person I saw speaking out about it and how dog shit it was fucking Tim Pool of all people.
I think Crowder did too. Didn't Crowder have
I don't know. I haven't paid attention to Crowder in years, man.
I caught Crowder's segment on it, or at least a piece of it, and most of his complaint was less about the film itself because everyone knew it was going to be a bunch of commie hogwash, but more his issue was how people are like just how easily the conservative media is willing to just kind of hook, line, and sinker accept bullshit just because there's money attached or because it has a vague veneer.
Hold on there, son. I am perfectly willing to accept bullshit if there's enough money attached. Somebody fucking call me, bro. I'm good at this shit. I can run bullshit straight up a rope. Like, I talk trash better than anybody I know.
Next week's Sasquatch is all like, it's the best movie ever.
Best movie I've ever seen.
Kane,
I have
better than Citizen Kane.
Rosebud ain't got shit on this film.
I was erect the whole time.
You were correct.
Captain Marvel, banger.
Absolute banger, none higher.
Yeah, I was in that theater that Disney bought. All the
Right?
too.
Still there.
Amazing.
Long as that check clears, we're good.
No, it is kind of amusing to me. Is I part of it is the idea that our side is unassailably moral, right? That very idea is first of all, it's horseshit. People are people all over.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
what is
Blindy?
morality?
Oh, wait, no, it's Lepeau. Lepeau. Kreider is Canadian that sold out to the U.S., but is it a sellout or a realization? Because one is
no.
objectively better.
It depends on which side of the border you're on.
Oh,
Sasquatch.
no. Clarification on that. Clarification on that. He was born American, lived in Canada because his mom was Quebecois. So he was raised in French Canada, came back to the U.S.
Well,
to work
there's
as
the
an
problem.
actor.
So what you're saying is he's tainted and should go back because Quebecois.
No, he saw the evil of it all and decided, "Fuck this shit," and
still
has been
got
fighting it ever
Quebecois on him,
since.
and that makes him.
That's
bad.
French.
Yeah. Just a
That's
little
French.
bit of evil French.
A little
all
bit.
French is
No,
evil.
those are the evil French. Have you ever seen
They're
a
all-
list of
all
war
French are
crimes
evil.
from fucking Canada? Do you know who's perpetrating those war crimes, bro? Let's just say,
hold on.
it's
Squatch,
not out
Squatch, I
west.
told you that. Squatch, I told you that shit. Squatch, no. Don't claim that as some original thought. I told you that shit. Dog.
No, that was
I'm the one who
Carrie.
informed you.
Carrie's the
I
one who
told him
brought that
Nope.
shit up.
Nope, I told him that because I got a buddy named Lightning John over in my buddy Ice's Discord who would vent every single time someone made the French invented war crimes joke. He's like, no, that is stolen valor. The Quebecois are the ones who did all that evil shit, and it pisses him off every single time people say it was the French. It's really fucking funny to watch.
The Quebecois are French. They're just the worst French.
So you know why the
Canadians,
Cajuns
excuse
aren't?
me.
You know why the Cajuns
also
aren't
Canadians.
famous for their war crimes?
They're not cunts.
Because the swamp doesn't give up those secrets, you silly fucks. No one lived to find out. See, that's where the Quebecois fucked up. They let some live. The Cajun never made that mistake.
Yeah, you know how they say it's never a war crime the first time? Well, that's unless you're Quebecois.
And that's because we're watching you. We know. how you
we know.
think.
We know what you're doing. We can see you. Whole world can see you.
Yeah.
Goddamn French
They're
Canadians.
fake French.
No,
Yeah,
but
back
it does beg the question. Like, first of all, why are people so convinced all the time? Like, oh, my side's the best side ever. Nobody over here is, above reproach. It's just every fucking time you get people crashing out about like, oh my God, somebody who claims to be on my side shielded for something that I don't like. Yeah, it happens. It ain't good, but it happens, and it's to be expected.
Well, it's because there's like this weird delusion that some people have where they believe that their side is that goodness is absolute, and that the people that they must follow someone who is absolutely good. And if they pick, and then you also have the added addition of a lot of people are terrified of being wrong because that also makes them bad somehow. So when you have the combination of I can only follow someone who is perfectly good, paired with I can never be wrong, you'll see defending of some heinous shit. Like, look at all of Hassan's followers who claim to be good and moral people, and then they'll see him do shit like allegedly go to a brothel with underage girls.
Oh, he went to the brothel. The brothel allegedly had underage girls.
Listen, I'm defending Squatch's channel. I'm defending Squatch's channel by putting the allegedly where I did. Or allegedly shocking his dog. Where, well, no, he didn't do that.
That wasn't alleged, dude.
Him.
That was fucking live. Like there's video of him doing it.
Okay, my point is, his audience will look at him do some heinous shit and go, "Well, I supported him, and I could never be wrong. Ergo, that's not true, and he must actually be good because I would only support a good person." And this isn't just exclusive to leftists as well. Those of you in the chat who think, "Oh, this is all humans." This is part of the reason I don't like humans. This is because these kind of biased perspectives.
You're
are just
talking about
intrinsic to
confirmation bias. I think it, therefore it's right.
to an extent.
Classic hubris, son.
Yeah, that's every single human being to a T.
Yeah, it is.
Are you wanting us to disagree? No, we're not going to disagree, sir.
No.
You've cracked
If I wanted
the
you
code. Congratulations.
If I wanted you guys to disagree with something, I would say something completely fucking out of left field.
I mean, I could just pick you off the panel. That's how that works. You know that, right?
Yes, listen, I'm not. You can cut out the man's tongue, but that doesn't make him wrong. It just means you're scared of him. Or you're annoyed,
no.
one of the two.
You say that
What I'm
more.
scared of
Or
is
annoyed,
crinkling
or
noises coming
annoyed.
out of left field.
I said
If-
or annoyed, one of the
If
two.
you're
I
going
gave
to
another
use
option.
the quote, use it right.
No,
To cut out a
don't wanna.
man's tongue does not prove him wrong. It proves you are afraid of what he might say.
more or less.
Or annoyed.
Or slightly
Yes, I
annoyed. That is
added
true.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
no,
it's
that's been kind of the thing going around. It's just like, oh, there's been a bunch of well-known quote unquote conservative quote unquote influencers, and yes, I used double quote unquotes there, because honestly, I fucking hate everything about that sentence. But and they're shilling for this movie, and they're saying, oh yeah, it's this great thing. Oh, I'll definitely go see it. And there's on the other side all these people who are just like, how could you betray us by siding with this obvious comic shit? And they're pulling up receipts, which to be fair are there. I mean, Andy Serkis did say he wanted to not focus on Stalinist Russia, which is what the book is a fucking critique of specifically. And more on
I just got an
capitalism.
email from Smartwater. Should I sell out? I have the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's it's what it is, you know. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I think there probably is an indictment of cronyism in the book as well towards the end of it. But the other thing that's getting to me is the left going on and on about like, oh my God, you didn't know that Orwell was a fucking socialist? This wasn't a critique of socialism or communism. It was a critique of capitalism because Orwell was a socialist. I was like, all right, first of all, different breeds of socialists fucking hate each other, and y'all should know that.
again, confirmation bias.
You know, and he certainly knew that on account of he was fighting alongside fucking Spanish anarchists against the fascists in Spain during the Spanish Civil War. You know?
This is anecdotal, but he
was also a Trotskyist, and the Trotskyists and the Leninists famously did not get, and the Stalinists did not get along. Famously.
I wonder why. Maybe it had to do with something Stalin did to Trotsky.
Yeah, it may have something to do with that. It may have something to do with something as simple as the groups themselves have differing ideologies long term.
Well,
so I was dorking this chick in college, right? She was in college, I was not.
You said dorking, not darking, right?
Yeah, dorking. Like,
okay.
I was placing my penis inside her vagina.
Gotcha.
So after one of these, she's asleep, and I went downstairs to outside to go smoke a cigarette and like use the cell phone and shit. And I was sitting there talking, and on the table, the little picnic table next to me over there, is a Marxist, a Leninist, a Trotskyist, if that's a thing, and an anarchist. And then a couple of just rando people that I couldn't quite identify. Now, these people were easily identifiable by the fact that they were wearing T-shirts to support their brand of socialism, communism, right? Oh, there was also who's the dude? Fucking Che, that guy, Che Guevara.
Che Guevara.
One of those guys, and they were sitting there and they were talking about having the same conversation, but no two people were actually having the same conversation. It was so enlightening that quite often, late nights on YouTube, dealing with panels, I flash back to that scene because it's an identical exchange of information, meaning none. No one is picking up what anyone else here is putting down. No two of these people agree on any particular point, or any two particular points, right? Now, they all want to seize the means of production, but they want to have them themselves, and they lie to themselves and say they want it for the better good, right? But the reality is they're just greedy little bastards, and since they don't have the power to take it, they want to give someone else the power to take it and then give it back to them. And that's not how it works.
It's the same thing that happened with the Grand Republics down in Latin America. Only down there, it was a case of we all want to be free from Spain, but each of the different groups had a different definition of freedom. The Peninsulares wanted to be the ones in charge. The Criollos wanted equal status to the Peninsulares. The Mulattoes wanted to have equal status to the Criollos and Peninsulares, and the slaves just didn't want to be slaves. And all of them couldn't agree on that, and so the Grand Republics just kept failing to the point where their establisher, Simon Bolivar, was like, we need to be more like the WASPs because at least they know how to be moral and good people. And
Well,
it's the issue. It's the issue of like selfishness and the desire to be the correct one always causes people to self.
To a degree, yeah. But in George Orwell's case specifically, the man was an idealist as well as a socialist. He believed that the utopia could be achievable. He just saw most of the path. It's sort of like that scene in Infinity War where Doctor Strange is like, out of 14 million possibilities, only one leads us to the desired result. That was Orwell, right? He could see all of the other branching paths and where they would end up and how that was all bad. He wasn't for totalitarianism. He did believe in the common utopia or the socialist utopia. He was wrong about that, but he was an idealist. And that's the thing they always leave off. They're like, well, he was a socialist. I was like, yeah, but he believed in the best in humanity too. You don't.
Bro, Animal Farm doesn't really
I'm not saying he wrote about the ideal societies. Obviously, they were all dystopian as fuck.
Yes. But the whole point, from my perspective, of the book Animal Farm, was as a critique against isms in general, because
specifically
any ideal
Stalin and Stalinism.
Sure. Communism, socialism, collectivism, all of the isms over there, including capitalism in the pigs, right? The communist pig dogs. The pigs, right? They took on the role of farmer, and next thing you know, poof, what was it they said? Some are more equal than others.
Yeah. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Yeah.
4 legs good, 2 legs better.
Right. So chickens rule. And Aristotle, fucking Diogenes was right.
Actually, according to the animals early on, the point of legs is about manipulation, not motorization. So a chicken is still a 4-legged creature because it doesn't have a hand to manipulate.
Every day I hate you just a little bit more, dude.
You and pretty much everyone who knows me, including half of my fucking platoon. What's your point?
I don't want harm to come to you or anything, because I want to do that personally through just endlessly needling the shit out of you. But stop it.
No, stop it. Get some help.
I don't want
to. But yeah, I mean that's why I bring up Stalin those, because specifically Napoleon, who is the pig that ends up like taking over everything, is a direct allegory for Stalin. Right? Snowball is like fucking Trotsky or whatever. Who gets all run off and all that stuff. But
there's this one scene in that book that I don't think any movie, cartoon, or anything has ever properly conveyed. But way back long ago, there was I think he was like a panel comic artist, and he did like 200 or 300 panels for Animal Farm, and it's the dinner scene where all the pigs are in there, and I think the goats are serving or something like that, and the goats are like trying to walk around on 2 legs because they're better than the farmyard animals. But at the same time, the pigs have learned to disregard their feces in a particular room, but the goats haven't figured that out yet, right? And in the book, it's only a reference to the obscene smells of the lesser animals, while this pig is literally wallowing in his own feces in a pair of trousers, right? Because they disregard their feces, that doesn't mean they change their pants.
Right.
And it's like naming other people as lesser and being problematic while not taking care of one's own business is dead on brand for this. But none of the cartoons ever, or any of the depictions I've seen of that scene have ever carried it away quite as well as this panel artist. He showed it, and he shows like the overall scene of like from the top down, and it's all the food on the table and all the silverware and all the cups, and there's like a random weed in the vase in the middle, and it's because they don't understand that flowers are pretty. It's just a weed. It's like a fucking milkweed or a ragweed or something like that. And they're sitting around with their eyes watery, and they're talking about how they're going to dispense with the wealth of the animals once they've all been slaughtered and all that. But that's not what they're saying. They're using that doublespeak BS. And then in the next scene, it's exactly the same scene, except it's from the side. And from the side, you can see half of the pigs' faces, and the other half you can see like the detritus that is accumulated around the table, because while they can act like humans, they aren't actually human, you know. And then the third scene shows from like one of the, I guess, sheeps looking from outside and looking in, and to them, they see all the food on the floor and the food on the table as being valuable and useful. Whereas the pigs saw even the food they were eating as being detestable. The goats saw the food on the floor as nothing more than, you know, cast off. And the sheep from outside sees everything inside as being great. And that's kind of what you've got when you have multiple isms trying to have a conversation with each other. Everyone uses slightly different definitions and meanings, and no communication actually takes place.
Or even worse, there's a shared understanding, but because you have two completely opposite starting points, that it doesn't matter.
Well, it's kind of.
Dude, we just said the same thing.
Yeah.
No. There is a difference, I would say, where what you're talking about is miscommunication due to not having the same like verbiage. Like if we're like,
I mean, you're kind of demonstrating what he just said right now.
Yes, you are doing the thing I said.
Hold on.
Yes.
No. So like the freedom example I gave with the Grand Republics, where freedom means different things to different people. But if you have two people where we're both using the exact same definition of freedom, but I don't believe you deserve it, but I do. That's what I'm saying. Where you
These
have
people are arguing over the definition of seizing and means and production.
Right. And then you've got the people who know exactly what's going on and understand the world from our perspective, but see it as a method of attaining power, as opposed to people arguing about specifics.
That's what communism ultimately is a method of gaining power by telling other people we're gonna, you know, make life better for all of you too, but we're not really. We're just gonna, you know, you'll be eating from the fucking scraps on the floor if you're lucky, if we let you in the fucking barn. But we're not gonna tell you that. We're gonna say we're all equal. I'm just a little bit more equal than you are.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
we're gonna write it on the barn. We're gonna teach you to read it. And the only way you get to read it is the way we taught you to. And you don't get to interpret it, because the definitions we give you are the definitions you'll use, even if the English language doesn't work that way.
We won't even teach you to read it. We'll read it to you, because a society that can read can learn. So yeah, no, we'll just tell you what it says. Then when we want to change it, we'll just say, oh yeah, I mean, you misunderstood us the last time. No, that's
a great point. There's a reason that Ra outlawed reading and writing on Abydos.
Yeah,
because he didn't want that shit to happen again.
What you guys just said does not disprove what I just said. Where you have,
I'm not trying to disprove what you said. I'm just
you just said you Squatch, and
no
you just
one's
said I said the same thing as him.
with you.
You did say the same thing.
We are in agreement.
We're in agreement.
You are arguing the origin of this disagreement rather than the substance of the disagreement. The fact is, there is a lack of communication between two parties because they don't agree on basic fundamental bullshit. Why is immaterial?
Yeah. That's like we're all arguing circles around each other, and we're all,
which is exactly what that conversation was.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just like to pick on you should do.
I mean, that's true. That's
only
true.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Only fucking sometimes.
I'm gonna get you in a chokehold, and Sasquatch will give you a pink belly.
with a sack of potatoes. Like, have you had a blanket party yet?
I put the soap in the sock.
As I understand it, it's a tradition in barracks, but whatever. It is in other places too.
Why does this make me think of the treacle mines?
Everything makes you think of the treacle mines. Like if I had to pick a phrase to describe, well, actually, if I had to pick something to describe the way your mind works, it would actually be the Avenue of Artificers, not Treacle Mine Road. But it's
nothing's exploded recently.
They're adjacent.
No fires. There's no deaths. Nothing like that, bro. It's not that bad. Come on.
All right. Anyway, yeah, but to get back, I guess, to the original point, I guess, and not even point so much as it was, just I was curious as to how, honestly, the Animal Farm and the uproar and nonsense surrounding it is really kind of immaterial. How is it that the conservatives specifically keep finding ways to infight and implode?
Because it's not a cohesive, real system. It's a combination of reactionary liberals from the 90s, propped up individuals who are trying to find their own gains. Like, there's no real actual there's no real conservative movement. Like, what is actually being conserved? The GDP, culture, like a homogenous society from the 1950s. Like, what is actually the goal of the conservative movement? Nothing. It's whatever is immediately achievable in the moment, or the stopping of progressives driving people off a cliff. That's why it's constantly bickering and infighting and failing, because there's no cohesive. It's the same reason why Afghanistan or Vietnam failed. There was no clear objective to be completed, and so the moment you suffer any sort of success or actual struggle, you immediately start collapsing. Sorry to cut you off, Devil.
No, the thing is it's kind of built into what it is. You have the reason the left can grab a message and stick with it is because they're all about collectivism, while the right is all about the singular, your person, right? So we all have different opinions, and we're willing to actually express them instead of just going with the crowd. And that's the problem, is you have all these people and we agree on the general kind of overall census, but then when it comes down to the particulars, we're going to go, no, I don't 100% agree with that. The left is always going to be better than us at following the leader, because that's what they do. It's just kind of built in.
I half agree. The only part is the actual, like, I do agree that there's going to be the consistency and the goal behind a singular leader and the hive mind aspect, though I do believe it's more than just, we're a bunch of, there are a bunch of NPCs, but they have a clear end goal, that being the dismantling of the current system to bring about the new system. What that new system is, they can't agree on, but they can all agree that the current system needs to be dismantled. And up until they get to the new system needing to be established, they can work together. Whereas conservatives, the sole goal is just to stop the degradation. So once you stop the degradation visually, then you run into the problem of what the fuck do we do now?
Yes, Sasquatch, your hand is up.
Shadu, I want you to find a collectivist in 12 minutes. Where do you go?
Well, given where I am, I just go down.
No, you can't use anyone you actually know. I'm just saying you have 12 minutes. You pick any place on earth to start. Start now. Where are you?
Oh, college. I go to a college campus.
Which college? Okay, very good. Where?
Probably the one I went to, because apparently it's under indictment it's under investigation for.
Okay, you're getting too literal about this.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I function. I want to know where Squatch is going with this. Yes,
so basically, I'm just saying. Here's my point. If you want to find a collectivist, you go find a large group of people. You go to a city, or like you said, a college would be a perfect example. Collectivists tend to collect together specifically for the power that the collection represents, right? They don't care about their individual narratives any further than they can push them within the collective. And they don't give a damn what you think outside of the collective, because the collective is more individuals than you are. And so you end up with liberals in cities and conservatives outside of cities, and a whole shitload of suburbs slammed full of both liberals and Republicans not being conservatives, right? They're not the same thing.
Yep.
Then you got progressives and liberals, and progressives have been trying to conflate the concept of liberalism as being progressive, when in reality it's only slightly progressive.
And you got your libertarians who want to live like the conservatives in the sticks, but you know, want all the perks,
all
of
the
being
liberal
there.
powers of collectivism, yeah.
And somehow
and they
think
want
that's
the
gonna
county
work
to
out in their
force you to
favor.
accept it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got this buddy of mine. This dude lives out in the middle of freaking nowhere. Swears to God he's a conservative, right? I've never seen his voting record, but I could guess. And here's the part that blows my mind. Self-reliance, stand on your own 2 feet. He gets full subsidies, all of the EBT stuff you could possibly imagine, applies for every single government program that comes across his freaking notice, and is constantly all up in the county crap, talking trash and just being generally obnoxious. Do you know what all of this has gotten him?
Nothing.
They basically leave his ass alone out in the sticks. The only time he has to deal with county anything is when he comes into town to poke at them. On the other hand, the last time he called the cops to come do something because somebody was like popping caps through his yard, it took him an hour and 45 minutes to show up, knowing that there's a cop within 15 minutes of that place. They passed it around on the radio trying to figure out who was going to deal with this batshit crazy bastard who can't decide what he is. He's one of those defund the police, but make sure you show up.
Yeah, like all the left, right?
And this, but he wasn't a defund the police because of Black Lives Matters. He was defund the police because I hate the fucking government.
Just a hypocrite.
Basically, that's what it comes down to, right? And it blows my mind.
Yeah. One of my biggest problems with the left is their inconsistency with just basic shit like that. They want to take away all your rights, but they shit their pants the second any of theirs is remotely violated, right?
Right.
I hate that shit. It's just ridiculous.
That Nick Shirley act, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Mask off, bro.
I'll take away your right to say something, but I adamantly want to keep mine. I hate that shit. Like I can't deal with people like that. If I can't even, no, yeah.
Oh, you can't even have a conversation with people like that.
I told Sam the other day that I've been, I'm back on these dating apps because hell, you know, and all the women on there are fucking liberal. Why? Because all the good conservative women are married by 40, which is the kind of dating range I'm looking at. And so all they're on there are these liberal fucking cat women. And I'm all like, so I'm fucked that none of them are appealing to me.
I'm fixing to change your life. And
you need to find a widow.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me work with you. I got this. You need to start just showing up at random funerals. People you don't even fucking know. You think I'm crazy? No, hear me out, dude. You go in, you trim up your beard a little bit, throw on a little fucking Stetson, maybe get you a non-beanie hat, and you show up in a suit. You do the whole thing like you knew the guy. You walk up, you do all of that. You meet the wife, you meet the mother, you shake their hands, and do this 2 or 3 dozen times. Eventually. And I know a guy who did this. Eventually, you'll come across one of these chicks in public. She'll ask you why you were at the funeral, and you can hang your head and go, honestly, I was just trying to meet women. And
dude,
don't ask me why. That chick will be absolutely freaking slayed by it.
You're essentially doing the thing of Wedding Crashers. Remember at the end, it turns out that
So it's better.
Yeah, where he's all like, I go to funerals. That's the evolution, is from wedding crashing to funeral crashing, because all the girls are so upset about losing their dad and shit. They give you ass. I'm like, I can't do that, dude.
No, totally different framework here. You're not looking for just ass. I'm assuming the devil can score if he chooses, right? Clearly that's not the problem. The problem is you're looking for an infernal life partner that will exist for you forever, right? Exist with you. And you're not going to find that at a bar, on a dating site, and a 22-year-old college chick who just got out of her third liberal arts degree, right? Those people are not the people you're actually looking for. And the people you are actually looking for, like you said, are married. And so you have to find, and they're not going to clubs, and they haven't separated from their husband long enough to actually get out there and start doing shit. They're still fucking the pool guy, right? You want to be the pool guy. That's where you want to be. That way, when the relationship ends, they died. This is a totally legitimate end of the relationship. It's not like they were cheating. It's not like they ran out on them or nothing. Conservative woman, probably has a couple of kids, but you're pushing 50, bro. Those kids will be out of the house in no time. You have a choice of making new kids or just kicking those little cuckleburrs out the nest. It's up to you. Now, I'm still working on that kicking them out of the nest part. If I figure that shit out, I'll let you know on that one too.
Well, I also have the tragedy of liking like nerdy girls who are into the shit I'm into, and that also lends more to the left with these women. Most the women who are single at 40, they're 9 to sci-fi movies and fucking shit that I'm into. So
it still falls perfectly square within the funeral suggestion.
I mean, dude, and in your age range, you're going to have a lot more opportunity to go to funerals.
I was just going to let him discover that organically, dude. I wasn't going to crush it like that.
Don't break his soul already.
I mean, you've reached that point in your life where life stops giving you things and starts taking things away.
So we'll go invest in a black suit and look for the crying women. This is not anyway.
The suit could be cheap. Make sure your tie is expensive, though.
Yeah.
Or you could try something a little bit less. You could try something a little bit better. Have you considered joining the U.S. military?
Yeah, that's where he'll get all the bitches.
Yeah, and all the syphilis.
Yeah.
When I'm over 40. I don't know if they would take me.
Gonna her Pacific age.
Just sign a waiver. Just sign a waiver. You'll be fine. just get a waiver. Just get a waiver.
If you're going to go into the military, just confess you're gay.
I'm all for defending my country, but I'm more like militia in the kind of idea. I don't
Wolverines!
Yeah. I don't want to go into the military. I appreciate the military. I love the military.
Avenge me, sons! Avenge me!
I just want you to know, bro, when the military finally falls, you will fall in our soft, loving arms, armed to the teeth.
Yeah.
Look, as long as it's not the Navy, you're okay.
In the Navy, we can sail the seven seas.
In the Navy, we all get on our knees.
I mean,
don't tell Tommy I said that, because I'll tell him myself.
Don't tell the Marines that they're just part of the Navy.
I want to see the look on his face when he's offended. I'll tell him myself.
Oh, I can't for that shit all the time.
I once told Carrie that the Coast Guard was like the mini Navy, and he got so fucking mad.
They are though.
I haven't seen anyone that angry in
That's
a
like
while,
the
dude.
version of the Navy.
I told him
you got
once.
The Navy, right? And they're the guys that go out clubbing and partying hard and bring all the disease and the drugs home. And then you got the Coast Guard, who are like that gay dude's labradoodle.
See, I two things. First, I think I once told Carrie the Coast Guard of the Navy's JV, and he blocked me for a couple of days.
It's like the Navy ROTC.
I think, and then no, those are two different things. And then the other thing is actually when you look into the shit the Coast Guard's doing, they're a lot more metal than a lot of people are willing to give them credit.
Yeah, they
for.
really
Like,
are. I mean,
like they're
100%. They're hardcore.
like they're the branch. Like they're the branch that are actively going up against the cartels on a daily basis. You know, the fuckers who will like skin you alive and leave you swinging on a bridge in Juarez. The Coast Guard had to deal with those guys on a day-to-day basis, just like
no real shade at any of the military branches. They're all, with maybe the exception of Space Force currently, but they're all pretty awesome. And I don't mean any shade against the Marines either when I say that they're basically that pervert offshoot of the Navy that goes to the S&M clubs in Germany.
Kill. Blood, guts, and teeth, and eyeballs. Kill.
Well, but in all seriousness,
You're hired, son.
I absolutely do respect what the Coast Guard does, 100%.
So the Coast Guard has a couple of things going for it that the rest of them don't. There's this one specific thing. When the shit hits the fan, natural disaster style, right? The Coast Guard are the one group that just kind of zips up their pants, wipes their ass, and goes right into the middle of the fucking shit. Yeah. They just tool their shit up and go in. It's not a discussion. Usually, there's not a whole lot of top-down type administration on responding to natural disasters. That's why the hurricane that went through Georgia and North Carolina was such an unusual thing, was that there were resources placed at the disposal of FEMA with professionals capable of of managing the entire system, the logistics, all of it. And FEMA said no. Said, we can't pay you, we don't have enough money, so we can't use you, and so you can't do it. And so rather than allowing people to do it themselves, which is what usually happens, they don't interfere until after it's time to start cleaning up. They tried to take immediate control on the ground immediately and just gummed up the freaking works with a whole bunch of extra steps that were unnecessary. They were arresting helicopter pilots that were pulling people off the mountains. They were arresting boat, not even captains, because when you're on a lake, are you a captain? I'm not even sure how that shit fucking works. But they were snatching people out of boats, or a river for that matter, right? That were just going up and down the river trying to pick people up off the bank and take them to some sort of civilization, And they'd arrest that man because that's the federal government's job. You're not supposed to do that. We're handling this, but you're not. Nothing was happening. Nothing was going on.
Yeah, I remember, man. FEMA just shut down the people who were actually trying to help the entire fucking time.
Yeah. And see, there is an argument to be made that, hey, we don't want unprofessionals coming in and making things worse. But when you're not
talking about people who live in the area, they're not unprofessional.
That is an argument that only works when you're actually doing something, which we know provably they weren't. So the whole, they were just trying to stop people who aren't professionals from making the situation worse. Any sort of help, even unprofessional help, when you're doing when your job is to help people and you're not doing that, any help, even help that might cause some issues, like bringing not filtered water or whatever into the area, that is better than anything you'd be doing by doing nothing.
So I got a shit ton of family off through this whole swath that got hit by that hurricane. I live here, and a bunch of family straight up through North Carolina all the way into like West Virginia and shit across the mountains. There was a point about 5 days after the hurricane had passed through. It was deemed, quote unquote, the weather was stable, right? About 10 of my cousins got together, decided they were going to go check on a particular group, a family group that had moved recently, and nobody was quite sure exactly where that place was, and they went up there with the intent of driving in. They got turned away. But these guys aren't the type of people you turn away, and they're from deep woods themselves, right? They're from mountain country themselves. So they pull out, go to a hotel, park their fucking shit, put on goddamn backpacks, load up with as much water and fucking toilet paper and food as they could, and march their happy asses off into the fucking woods. These people are gone for a week, 7 days, till one of them comes back out, and the response we got was a single text. They're all fine. There's no power. They need more water. We need filters more than anything else. And another group of family members went down there and they literally travois, what is it called? The three thing where you drag it behind you, a generator up the fucking mountain to those people. And so they could run the water filter that they did have, right? This happened in a 9-day period from 4 days after the hurricane to about 12, 14 days after the hurricane. All of this took place, and it was all specifically to bypass all of the bullshit that was going on up and down the highways, the rivers, the lakes. All of that stuff was on complete lockdown. They just went up the deer trails and skipped it.
I think they should have it put into law that if the government fails to do their responsibility, the people have the right to do it. It's just like the Minutemen who used to be on the border when they first started pulling off and letting anybody just walk through. You had all these Texans who went down there and said, we'll protect the border. We'll take our guns. We'll watch the border and make sure if anyone comes through, we report it and they can be picked up since they're not actually doing it. And same thing, the government steps in and says, that's our job. But you're not doing your job. If you're not going to do your job, if you're not going to do the things that is your purview, then fuck it. The citizenry should have the right to do it and protect themselves.
The citizenry does have the right to do it. In fact, it has
No,
the obligation to do it.
the government will step in and say you can't do that, just like they did during that hurricane, just like they were talking about. You can't take a boat and go save your neighbor off their roof because that's our job. Well, you left them up there for 7 days while they're freaking starving, you assholes. Like, you're not doing your job.
So
there's another layer to this too. There are some professional groups that do this stuff professionally. It's just typically not employed on such a widespread basis. Cajun Navy, Redneck Air Force. There's a handful of other smaller groups. There's an entire horse brigade in Georgia whose entire purpose is finding people who are lost. And you can get a literal fucking 500 horsemen to show up and go search for a kid in some random forest in Georgia. You just make a phone call and like, hey, they're missing. It's probably okay. We just got to find them. There's 5,000 acres to search. And these people sometimes don't even respond. They just show up and go check whatever part of the park they're familiar with.
Yeah, like there's actually an argument that that's better. Why? Because these people know the area. They don't have to get a bunch of paperwork together before actually doing it. They just get their ass out there and do it, and they know how to do it. So it's actually preferable. It's just like with the people there on the border. Those guys know the border because their farms are right up against it. They knew exactly the terrain. They knew exactly where these guys are going to be crossing the Rio Grande. So they were more efficient than the freaking goddamn government at protecting the border. But like I said, the government always wants to be the one in charge of it. So instead of saying, okay, we're fucking up here, you guys do it, we'll trust you. No, instead they fucking sit there and will fucking charge them for some crime because they're doing what they're not.
Interference.
Yeah.
There's a couple of very specific cases of people being arrested for basically Good Samaritanism. There was a helicopter pilot who was forcibly grounded, and he was arrested, and his son was left on the mountain because they had found an old couple and didn't have the fuel to bring everybody down. So he came down to refuel so he could go back and get the old couple and drop them off. He was able to bring the old lady, but his son and the old man ended up stuck on the mountain for 4 days because when he tried to get fuel, they just shut him down.
Yeah.
That's because the totalitarian system we find ourselves in recognizes that the moment that people start not needing it for basic daily occurrences, then they'll stop funding it, which will erase it. And that's not me going, oh, no government, anarchy, da 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 da. That's me going, their government is a tool for specific purposes. And unfortunately, the bureaucratic totalitarian system that we've allowed it to become, and I will say allowed it to become, because it only has as much power as the citizenry is willing to let it take. Now, any attempt to recover power means a removal of what it already has, which is a threat to its current existence. Like if you try to take
you might
a cat's
be
claws.
treading some ground here that maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah, you might not want to talk on this. We can talk on it, but you might not want to.
I'm not speaking in a for or against. I'm speaking purely
No,
of
I get
the
it.
concept of
Just
a
be careful.
totalitarian bureaucracy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not speaking of a specific system or a specific action. I'm speaking purely to what happens when you have a totalitarian bureaucracy. Just like when I'm speaking of a like totalitarian communist system,
Right.
I'm not usually speaking of specifically
Sure.
Russia or China. Yeah, just
And
to clarify.
I should clarify something
Thanks for the
too.
help, though.
I should clarify something too. Like, we're not shutting him down because free speech, and we don't honor free speech or anything. He is an active duty Marine. He has no free speech.
Yeah, he can get in trouble for saying
we,
certain stuff.
Everybody else up here isn't. Shut up, Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Essentially. So no, I'm trying to help him, because if he says the wrong thing, it could go very badly for him.
He gets pulled into the office and
If he says the
detention.
wrong word, he's fucked.
Spanked even.
Yes, John. Yes, they told us in Georgia and North Carolina that FEMA did not have enough funding to pay the people that were coming to do the search and rescue work. That was what was relayed to the people that went to go volunteer.
Well, because that's
They
what
did not go for pay. That was the reason they were given for turning them away.
Yeah. Well, because they gave all the money to the invaders. They had to use all that money for illegal aliens.
Well, and I kind of hate to be the guy to point out this isn't even the first fucking time with that particular agency. Katrina, 2004.
Dude,
and that was under a Republican administration, by the way.
Katrina created the Cajun Navy. The modern version of it is 100% a byproduct. But previous to that, it was much like these horse teams we have in Georgia, or the fire teams we have in South Georgia, where a lot of this stuff is volunteer and voluntary, and a bunch of it is just the family has the equipment to do it. And so when there's a major fire, the family goes, loads up their fucking big-ass water truck with water out of their personal pond, and then they drive, 80 miles over here to go spray the water on a spot that they can reach, and then they see if they can find water somewhere else.
I mean, for a more local example, for me, I live in Wyoming. We have wildfires every year, just like a lot of places in the West do. It gets dry out here. We get lightning, all that stuff. But unlike California or Montana or Canada, nobody gives a fuck about us, right? So we have to take care of it ourselves. Otherwise, they'll let our state burn to the ground.
What do you and the other 4 people do? Just walk away from it?
we got one guy who actually jumps out of a plane with a bucket of salt. No parachute. He just jumps out of a plane with a bucket of salt.
I would just like to quickly say, Andy, I would not at all be wasting any money on these jokers to sponsor them or donations otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
You really should.
What a git.
I say that, and I've literally donated money to Sam, and I think Squatch at one point as well. So, yeah.
I hope so. I don't remember, and I wish I did, so I could call you on it. But
I know for a fact Sam, because I also was the one who informed him that Cash App was doxing him, which was a really interesting experience.
I used to send Sam like $1 every show to tell him to grift.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny as hell because he'd be like, fuck. Money, me. No. And then he'd do the DSP thing. It was so beautiful.
Oh, BTK. I'm going to fucking go. BTK, you fucking little son of a fuck. No.
Navy.
No.
Navy. Minor league team of the Navy.
Neither, actually. Neither.
Navy.
They
Totally Navy.
No, so originally the Marines were basically kind of like armed enforcers on naval vessels because sailors were a bunch of rowdy bunch. But then at a certain point, it shifted away once they stopped being just law enforcement on ships, but actually started being used for amphibious assaults like they were in the Philippines and in China. They kind of occupied a weird...
No. Dude, the Marines were recruited in fucking bars in Zanzibar to go fuck up Muslims in the Barbary Coast. And they were mostly drunks.
Well, so if you're specifically Dirnt, it was a...
And they were really good at it.
Yeah. So that was what... actually, this was something I didn't learn until going
You hear the propaganda
until
over
entering this
here?
process. Yes, no, but it was a small contingent of Marines and a larger contingent of mercenaries who, at a certain point, were just like, "Fuck it, we want to go home." And the Marines pointed their guns at them and were like, "Do you want to go through us?" To which they said, "Now let's go to Dirnt." But so yeah, the Marines originally started as law enforcement on naval vessels as well as force multiplication
Zanzibar.
factors, but eventually they shifted into force and readiness. And the Army and the Navy were both like, no, this is ours. No, this is
Chill,
ours.
bro. You
And
don't.
until-
There's not a test. You don't have to answer all the historical questions. It's not. That
I do.
serious,
BTK
bro.
insulted me. BTK
No,
insulted
he didn't
me.
insult you. He
He
insulted. He
did.
didn't really even insult
He
the
did.
Marines, except that he said they were an offshoot of the Army, which is incorrect.
Nope. He said minor league. They're better.
Yeah, what I said, offshoot.
They're
minor
strong.
league, same deal.
They're stronger. They're faster. They're better. They are
How about a
the Marines.
spinoff?
The Marines of the WWE to NXT.
But can they sail?
Not anymore. That's why they've got the Navy.
No, that's why they're part of the Navy.
They're not.
The Navy sends ashore, but they are part of the Navy.
Nope.
They
after
are.
World War, after
100%.
After Korea, they were their own distinct branch, officially recognized as their own distinct branch after Korea.
That's like saying Space Force is its own
the-
distinct branch and not an offshoot of the fucking Air Force, man.
Space Force.
I think it was the
You know,
Golden Nickels
all my
Act of
life,
1953.
all I've ever
confirmed
wanted
them.
to be is a space cadet. I thought I was doing a good job at it. Right here with my feet firmly on the ground. Suddenly there's a Space Force and they won't let me sign up because I'm pushing 50.
right? Isn't that fucked up?
Fuck those guys. I've got way more experience than any
You're
of
too
those
tall for the
dudes
chair
that be in
force
space.
anyway. You know that, right?
Do you think they even teach them how to use guns or some shit? Like weren't they supposed to have like the laser guns by this
I
point? and
figured
shit? Instead, they
They'd
just,
be teaching them how to
oh,
use
oh.
drugs.
Dudes, speaking of which, I do actually have something. I have to dig it up. So didn't Trump just yesterday say, "Oh, we're going to start deploying lasers against the Iranians"?
I don't know.
I think he did. Let me see if I can find it.
Based as fuck, but at the same time, tell me
Because
more.
like all like branches of the military,
yes,
usually they have
we have lasers.
they have their equipment, right? You get trained on this, you get trained on that, whatever your specialty is. You know, if you do the mortars, you get trained how to use a mortar and stuff. With Space Force, there's not a single fucking thing they have yet. It's not like they can train you on the spaceships. They don't.
They have
yet.
lasers.
They
sir.
don't.
Somebody's trained on
laser
those fucking
blaster guns,
lasers.
They got those. They ain't got nothing yet to be trained on. So
Hold
what do
on.
they do all day?
There's a throughput here I think you missed. The fact that they created a Space Force and then deployed lasers kind of maybe says these are the guys deploying the lasers, maybe?
Well,
Right.
something actually
Not
really funny
necessarily.
about something actually really funny about lasers is the U.S. military for the longest time have actually had platforms that can utilize lasers. The issue is they were either not they couldn't miniaturize it to be a man portable or even vehicle portable weapon that doesn't just debilitate. Like they couldn't make a laser strong enough with an effective power source to actually kill
Yeah.
the target. And because it would be a debilitating weapon, it violates the Geneva Suggestions.
Yeah.
What they were working on, however, was an aerial mounted platform. I think it was called the Aegis or the Shield or something like that. That was basically designed to be an instantaneous countermeasure to missiles. But the issue again was the issue primarily was power constraints and also.
Dear God,
being
sir,
able to get effective
please
stuff.
go watch Real Science.
I love that movie. That's a
Well,
good
is that the
movie.
right
Private
right
jet.
name? Did I get it right?
Sasquatch.
Is it Real Science or is it
Real Genius.
Real Genius? That's the one. Yeah, I was all like, it's not science. What is it?
Real genius.
yeah.
Oh yeah. With Val
I love
Kilmer
that.
and that
Fucking
creepy little
good
guy.
movie.
Yeah.
So
That's
the
classic
whole
80s.
plot is based around a directed energy weapon, and the punch. The okay, is this video?
But yeah, that's exactly, you're 100% right. You do. It's always about the energy constraints. A laser is a great thing. If we could have one that could go and burn right through a tank, great. But the amount of energy it takes, we'd have to have this massive battery attached to the laser. It's just not practical as far as the energy.
Capacitors.
It
That's
may have changed.
been the mechanism that works.
That may have changed. Yeah. So, and like our good friend Larry is always saying, and he is privy to stuff that we're not. We don't
Yeah, he's a
actually know
pervy.
what they have.
Yep. Well, one thing I can
No,
say is
but I can
until you can
guess.
until you can at least for an infantry platform like a laser rifle, I can't. I mean, if you could like slap that thing onto a Humvee or whatever we don't use Humvees anymore. Oh, what are they
At
called?
this point, we could probably put a 10 shot, like this power level on this thing would be absurd. It would destroy itself in firing, right? But we could probably put 10 shots on target from a technical.
Yeah. But
the thing
issue
about that
there
is it's basically one hit or quitter. You don't really get multiple shots with it. You get this one use, and then you scrap the fucker and install a new one.
Yeah. See, because warfare is always going to be about cost to kill. You could like a laser weapon could be like amazing, but if you can't effectively utilize it in the field, like it's too heavy, the maintenance is bullshit, the initial price is bullshit, its fire rate isn't good, it's accurate, whatever is the reason, it will always get beaten out by the cheaper option. Which is why standard issue is never up to standard.
Yeah. Missiles still work. I need a laser. Cheaper.
They're just that cool, dude. So this is El Trumpy, the Trumpinator, and it's really low. So I'm gonna do some. I just fried everything. Okay, so I'm gonna fiddle with it and mute myself.
In the meantime, if you remember, the German U-boats were a horror. Nobody could stop them, and then all of a sudden they come up with sonar, and it went from nobody could stop them that it was the worst place in the world to be is in a U-boat. The drone, anti-drone capacity that we have now is fantastic. They have new weapons, lasers. You can see the lasers. They go into a laser, they just burn they just boom. And we have that, and we have very special machine guns with large-scale bullets operated by a computer, and as they come in, it just knocks them out like it's amazing. But with all of that being said, there's still danger. There's always danger with war. With war, you never know what happens. Look at Russia. It was supposed to be a one-day war, and it's 4 years, right? And you see that, and it's really a terrible war, and it's a lot of people. But we've also developed in the...
So he just kind of throws it in there casual, like, and I think the context of the actual attached tweet had something to do with, they kept telling us Jewish space lasers weren't a thing, but
Yeah, kind of.
Well, technically speaking, I don't think they're Jewish. I
don't
think
think
they
so either.
have them. That's the thing. It's like, that's a conspiracy theory, and you're wrong. It's not a red laser.
Is
it's
your
a blue
laser circumcised?
Mm-hmm. Right. So y'all remember all the stuff around the Palisades fire about it being directed energy weapons and stuff like that?
Yes, 100%. We did a couple of shows on that shit.
You hear about the Maui blue thing?
The blue roofs, the ones with the blue roofs didn't get
all right.
burned.
So interesting tidbit there. And this was completely coincidence, although it made me giggle maniacally. Right before all of that, I put a new roof on the house, and in the process of picking the color, we decided to pick Hawaiian blue. So during that whole thing, people were like, well, what are you going to do when somebody fucking turns a directed energy? Bitch, y'all got the right color roof. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm buying a blue truck next week. Shit.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about just like wearing that color all the time. It's not really my color, but it will be after everybody else is like turned toasty and black. So it's like, who's going to bitch about what color I'm wearing?
Well, realistically speaking, I mean, depending on the energy weapon in question, your blood would cook to the point where you just burst. You'd just explode. So there wouldn't even be toasty. You would just be... See, that's really like the biggest advantage of an energy weapon, in my opinion, or at least a laser, would be the fact that it would be significantly more accurate due to virtually no travel time of the quote-unquote projectile and the lack of recoil on the weapons platform.
And also because photons travel in a straight fucking line unless they're interrupted.
Exactly. That's
basic physics.
Yeah.
It's the interruption.
and the other factor...
It's the interruption that's the primary issue. You can do short range tests and they work phenomenally. The farther away you get from the target, the more air you actually have to penetrate with that weapon. And air, contrary to popular belief, is not actually clear.
Yeah. Which is why if you're shooting at a target with a M16 or an M4 service rifle or service carbine, depending on which one it is, at 100 meters, the area where it's acceptable is 4 inches of drift because like physics just comes in at that point. The bullet, the wind, whatever, versus 500 meters where it's 20 inches or basically a man-sized target.
Well, the difference being is that the air will slow a bullet down, but what it does to light is diffuse and refract it.
Yep.
Hold on, guys. We keep talking about weapons and stuff, and poor Abe's country's not allowed to have them. You guys got to be considerate.
No. The second-class citizens, being the English, are not allowed to have them. Frickin' Ahmed, who just hopped off a boat, he's allowed to have a knife.
And a French passport, which he burns as soon as he gets to shore. It all comes down to the fucking French. I'm telling you guys.
Hawaiian blue.
French.
Yeah, that was them too. I'd be willing to bet money that the French had something to do with fucking Lahaina.
There was at least one Quebecois on that panel.
Just saying.
Definitely.
All right. I got a question for you boys.
Can you do it without eating trail mix?
Yes. Chicken or tuna?
Chicken every day.
Chicken.
All right. I'm making freaking canned chicken rice tonight. Let's do it.
What, like right this second?
Apparently.
No. I'm just getting everything out and prepared for it. After the stream, I'll toss it all in the microwave.
There's so much wrong with that sentence. I'm not touching.
Everything he just said hurt my soul.
That makes me feel bad for you, bro.
Canned chicken rice? You can't cook an actual chicken breast? Like a
no, because all I have is a fucking microwave.
I live on microwave.
You microwave it?
I wouldn't do that.
No, I microwaved the fucking Insta rice. The chicken is just coming out of the can.
Oh God, you poor little dude.
Yeah, so
you can microwave water to bring it to a boil and then boil your rice, right?
Actually, I was thinking about just mailing him some MREs. It would be better.
Dude, I have 7 boxes of MREs sitting under my sink right now. I don't need more.
Okay, and you're eating. Oh my dude! See, this is a personal problem.
And his other MREs, no. The MREs are for field chow. This is my personal chow. This is Garrison chow.
But the spaghetti, dude.
You don't want to microwave tuna, man. That you'll never get that stench out of your house.
I'm microwaving the rice, fuckface. The rice is getting microwaved. The chicken and the fucking tuna are being eaten raw.
So why are you bothering to microwave the rice? Is it too hard for your tender little teeth?
No, because I want my meal to be warm, because when I'm in the field, it's going to be cold, and I'm stuck in the field every day next week, because I'm waking up at 4 a.m. to go to the range every fucking day. So I'm going to take my luxuries now while I can, fuckface.
It's cute. He thinks he's all grown up.
Next year I'll be. Next year I will be.
He's being trained to be one of the most elite killers in the world, and he's still living like a fucking 18-year-old out on his own for the first time in a studio apartment.
Yeah, at least he's not saying I'll microwave some macaroni and cheese and chicken nuggies.
That's what my roommates do. That's the shit my roommates do. I don't. And by the by, this is better than a studio apartment because it's completely rent free.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll give you that.
Touche.
Yeah.
No. See, that is for those of you currently looking for a career shift. I recommend the United States military because they give you free room and board, very, very fair pricing.
Talk
When did you become a recruiter?
What is actually free, shall we?
Yeah.
It's not free.
Actually,
you're just not. I am.
What's actually really funny is restaurants on base have pre-COVID pricing for food, which is fucking diabolical. Like that's like I'll go get a burger. I'll go get a burger from the place that's like right next to my dorm, and it's like $10 for a burger that out and about would cost me $16. It's fucking retarded.
And yet you're
Sorry, I
eating
was distracted.
microwaved rice and canned chicken.
Because it's the weekend and they're closed. They're open from like 12 to 2 weekdays.
Yeah. I got nothing. Goddamn. Nothing is free. Sam is paying for it. Hey, if you live in the States, you are too.
Hey, actually, that's a really good fucking point. Actually, I'm also paying for it. I'm not exempt from taxes. Fuck that noise. But hey, if you're a socialist,
Sounds like a
if
wet
you're a
shit in a Waffle
socialist,
House in here.
if you're a socialist and you want free healthcare, free food, free housing, and free education, do I have the career choice for you?
And free propaganda
Goddamn
and free
recruiter.
indoctrination and free exercise and
vaccination.
free fresh air and free water whenever they decide to give it to you.
Hey, young man, you want to see the world? I've got a career for you.
You can meet new and interesting people and then kill them.
You can go to far off snow. You can go up to far off snowy northern lands, see tropic scenes, experience exotic cultures, preferably from the right end of a rifle. Join the Helldivers.
Yeah.
Good going.
Smells
On
like a
that
wet
note.
shit in a Waffle House in here.
I mean, that too.
Just going with that, dude.
Yeah.
Dog, I'm so fucking pissed they killed her off in that show.
I don't know what that show is, but it's a good line.
It's the boys. That's
Dude,
fucking Firecracker. She's one of
Dude.
two. She's one of 3 good characters in that show.
I love
And-
the actress. I love the way the actress plays the part. I just think the character was written trash.
All I've seen of her is just her being a freaking right-wing stereotype, and given how most of that show's attempts at painting right-wingers as bad makes them look based as fuck, it's hype. I don't actually watch the show anymore.
This bitch.
I mean,
Yeah.
I stopped watching the show. I think what was it season 3? I don't think I even saw 4.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
saw
about when I
season
stopped
2.
watching.
After
Yeah, it was
season
it was
two,
a season where the guy got real small and crawled into the dude's dick hole, and then
Yeah.
sneezed and got real big all of a sudden. Yeah,
That's season 3.
That
That's
was the
season
last
3.
I watched, and I was not happy.
I got to the end of season 3, and by that point, the Trump derangement syndrome was just like, I'm not dealing with this. And then I found out season 4, they made a rape scene a joke, and I'm like, oh, huh, wow,
Dude,
y'all are
I
going
find-
there.
I find it funny that y'all are all fruiting up on things that are fairly, whatever. There's a guy in this movie that can replicate himself, and he uses this power in order to eat his own ass.
No, I remember that. Yeah.
Yes, he becomes
I
his
don't.
own human centipede,
Mhm.
and all except for the original, all of them have pink eye.
Yeah, I remember
I'm
that.
so upset that I don't fucking get to partake in such a show.
or the shit where Tech Knight was going to carve a hole in the side of Huey because he just wanted a novel place to stick his dick.
Yeah, season 4. That's the rape
season
joke.
4? I thought that was a season. Fucking.
Nope, that
I
was
thought
season 4.
earlier on. Maybe I did.
That was
watch
season
more
4.
than I thought.
Yeah, no, that was the rape joke I was talking about, because I remember season 1 they had like the whole thing with Starlight being forced to do sexual favors for the Deep, and they played off as like this like legitimately a commentary on a senior position individual taking advantage of a junior position individual, which was like good commentary because the Deep
It's-
pretended to be this good dude and he was a piece of shit, but then he
watered
jumped
that
to
shit
season.
down. They
Yeah.
watered that shit
And
down.
then-
Have you read the comic book?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Okay,
I've heard
so
it's-
in that
yeah.
scene, it's not the Deep. It's the Deep and Homelander and Black Noir, and they blow bang her. She has to suck all their dicks.
Mm.
And the next scene
got
is
a
her vomiting
question.
in the bathroom while Queen Maeve is just like, "Yeah, welcome to the club, you stupid."
Yeah,
little-"
everybody's done it, including Deep.
Yep. And then you get to season 4, where again an example of a dude utilizing his power to abuse someone in that way, take his agency and just treat him like a piece of meat, and they play it off as a fucking joke. Either it's a traumatic experience that you need to talk about, or it's a fucking joke. Don't pick and choose based on how you feel in the moment, fuckers.
So again, I got to bring up the fact that that particular character, Tech Knight, they changed him considerably from the comic book too. In the comic book, he never takes his armor off. First of all, he's like somewhere between Iron Man and Batman. And secondly, he is a compulsive fornicator, which means that he will fuck anything that moves or even doesn't move, and that includes his underage sidekick, or the lamppost, or in the event of his sacrificial and heroic
mailbox.
death, the meteor that was hurtling to Earth.
The word compulsive being the functory word here.
Yeah. He fucked his therapist. And by fucked, I mean raped. And the therapist was a dude. So that character is the joke. It's not the rape itself. But I get
Isn't there a seed where he's dorking away at some chick's dog or some shit?
Yep,
He's
yeah,
apologizing for it the whole time.
He's like, I'm so sorry.
Straight. I do apologize. I really can't control myself in situations like this. And I'm so powerful, no one can really stop me. And so he left there and like tagged a BW Beetle or something. Compulsive.
Yeah. See, because that shit right there is like what makes The Boys a little bit more interesting than your normal superhero deconstructions. Because it's not, superheroes would be assholes. It's, hey, if you give a bunch of celebrities ultimate power, you're gonna get what happens when celebrities have ultimate power, which is what makes The Boys more interesting than, I would say, Invincible, or because it's not making superheroes real, it's making a commentary on celebrities, if that makes any sort of sense.
I kind of get it.
I see where you're dipping on that one.
And then they waste it all on fucking TDS.
The difference is between Kirk and Ennis, right? Between the writers. So with Invincible, for example, like you brought up Invincible, with Invincible, Kirk didn't hate superheroes. At the time when Ennis wrote The Boys, he publicly stated that he hated everything about superheroes. And so his goal was to not only deconstruct them, but fucking eviscerate them.
And also, calling them celebrities is a little bit of a misnomer, because the reason they're celebrities is because they are corpo superheroes.
Right, but they're celebrities first, heroes after. It's not like that, because remember, the corporation cultivated and made them, kind of like how in the real world actors aren't spontaneous. They're fucking they're trained, they're found, whatever, and then sculpted into whatever the corporation needs them to be.
No, it does not. Sorry, that was unrelated to what you were saying, Shadu.
Gotcha.
But what I'm getting at is they don't have the ability to form the celebrity until after the superhero exhibits their powers. They're a superhero first and are made the celebrities that they become, which is why the Deep is such a deeply, deeply flawed individual. Is he's a creep, but he's supposed to be depicting this righteous, upstanding defender of the environment, and he's over here, committing essay on octopi.
Right. Well, and the thing with Vought is Vought makes, and this is spoilers for season 2 or season 3 or whenever they reveal where Compound V fits into things, but they know exactly who is going to be a superhero. They don't know the powers that they'll exhibit, but they know who it's going to be, and they actually have parents selling their children to Vought for the purposes of this, just like what people do with Hollywood and shit like that.
Much like the Halo program, there were a shit ton of people who took the stuff, but not everybody got superpowers that were useful, and the ones that weren't useful were just basically laid by the wayside or put in positions where they couldn't do any damage.
Yeah.
They were not made celebrities. The superpower came first.
BTK, he's actually lying. Sam's lying. He just didn't want to call the show Screaming into the Butthole.
I mean, that would just not fly, I think, with you.
We've all made the suggestion, of course.
Squatch, my response to that would be powers doesn't make you a superhero. It doesn't even make you super. It just means you have powers. Like look at Metro
by
Man.
Definition, a soup in universe first.
Sure, but you're not a superhero.
Yeah, it's the hero, but not the super.
Well, yeah, no, it's not. So it's not a it's not a deconstruction of superheroes. It's a commentary on people with power. Compared to
you're getting lost in the weeds with the specific terminology. Being a superpowered individual, you're correct, doesn't make you a superhero. However, in the world of the boys, being a superhero is conflated with celebrity. So they give you the powers, making you a quote unquote soup, which is not the same as superhero. It's just superpowered. And then, if you're useful to them, they elevate you to the status of superhero, i.e., celebrity, and start making movie deals and book deals and shit.
Right.
So, like, Soldier Boy is the perfect example of this. He was just a rich kid asshole who happened to get lucky and make it through, survive the trials. Turns into basically what?
Captain America.
Captain America with a really nasty attitude and a drug addiction.
Doesn't he piss himself like in the comic books?
Yeah.
When he does his chest blast thing, which happens when his feelings get too uppity, which is one of the reasons he's such a monotone character, is he's really trying not to kill thousands of people right now, right? And some things upset him, and when he gets upset, he has there's a really cheeky name for his power, and I can't remember what it is. Yeah. He does that blast of emotion.
Freaking Soldier Boy is one of the examples of where the TDS really fucked them, because he's a great example of a character who, like, I relate to him. I relate to him, not the murder and not the sexual assault, not the drug addiction, but the, hey, I grew up as this kid who had all of these great things, and I fucking wasted them. And then by the time I realized I'm a waste of fucking oxygen, I've pissed so many opportunities and so much of my reputation away that I don't really have anything left. He tried to become a hero by doing Compound V and becoming Soldier Boy, but his dad was like, "Fuck you, you're a bitch." And then he's like, "Okay, well, at least I can go serve in World War II," and they don't let him do that shit. So all he has left is just the alcohol and the free sex to numb the pain. And then you time skip forward to the modern day where he's got a son, he's got a grandson, he's got the opportunity to actually do something, but he made a promise, and real men don't break their promises. He's such an interesting character when you stop listening to what the writers are saying and start looking at what he does as a character. But because they're addicted to making everything about Orange Man bad, they don't take that deconstruction anywhere interesting. Same with Homelander. He's not a person. He's a fucking beaten dog that's been trained to think of humans as a ratings button, as a like button. You could do so many cool things with that concept. Maybe even redeem him by making him into a person, or at least make him try to seek redemption by going, "Oh, fuck, I made a mistake." But they don't do that because TDS.
Again, I got to point out here too that this is where they kind of went wrong, because Homelander does have a very interesting arc in the comics that ends in a very interesting way that they can't do now because they've already fucked it up
with Black Noir.
Black Noir, an actual black guy instead of the Homelander clone that he is.
They're dumbasses. And I have to correct you, Shadu. It's not World War II. It's World War 11.
It is now World War 11.
Shadu.
Dude, are you pissing?
No.
What the hell, man?
No, I was fucking. I had a cup of coffee on my fucking desk and I was dumping it out. I did not realize that the microphone in my headphone was what was connected to the stream. Sorry.
Everything up.
Yes.
Whole show, this shit's been going on, dude.
No, in my defense, the entire show I was talking into my phone. I didn't realize my headphone microphone was set up. I thought I had turned that off or switched it out.
You didn't.
There we go. Now it's fixed. Sorry.
There you go.
Resets. It reset since last stream. My bad.
Oh, he's gone for fucking like 6 months or whatever, and all of a sudden he just doesn't know how to operate tech anymore.
No, I forgot that because I'm not logged into StreamYards on my phone. I just accept the link and just manually put my name and my PFP in every time that I also need to manually go in and switch which microphone it's using.
Yeah.
You did know you have to manually put the bullets in the gun, right?
Yes, actually. I'm not one of the dumb motherfuckers in my training battalion that decided to load their magazines backwards. So we had our tactics instructors be like, "Okay, I never understood why you fuckers at this school were like just completely fucking morons until I come to this school, which is before that school, and realize that some of you are loading your magazines backwards, as in the part of the bullet that's supposed to fly through the barrel is facing the back end of the chamber. He didn't see that once. He didn't see that twice. He saw that 5 fucking times.
Cockadoodle once. Nay. Cockadoodle twice. Nay. By cockadoodle thrice. Sorry. I was watching A Knight's Tale the other day. It's a great fucking movie if you haven't seen it.
I do love that movie. That's a good movie.
I had somebody go off on me on A Knight's Tale about the dance scene where they transition from
Golden
medieval
years. Golden.
Yeah, they transition from medieval tune to a modern theme, and this dude was like absolutely just raw dogging this thing all out, just hating it. And when it was all said and done, I was like, dude, you do realize no one over the age of 15 will care. Like, you're literally the only person who's going to look at that and go, well, that sucks.
Did he miss the tone setting scene in the beginning with the fucking crowds in the stands singing along to "We Will Rock You"? Like in
Right,
the
like
opening sequence.
Dude, trust me, I went over all that shit with him. We were. Let me tell you, he come in. He just done a flaming rail out in the world somewhere, and he needed somewhere to chill out, right? And he comes in, and it just so happens that A Knight's Tale's coming on. He sits down and tells me everything he hates about this movie before the fucking credits finish at the beginning. Like, before homeboy dies, before that dude died, he had already finished telling me what he hated about it. So I went through and explained each of the scenes. And when it was all said and done, he's like, all right, maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. I just always thought it was a cheesy fucking movie. And I'm like, it is. It's meant to be a cheesy Knight's Tale. It is a Knight's Tale. That's what it is. If you've ever read the Canterbury Tales, this is the Knight's Tale with some liberties.
Yeah. Oh man, I think it's going to be the show, ladies and gentlemen. I think we made a show here, which is awesome because, like I said, I only brought the one fucking thing to the table.
Yeah, you only brought your current fetish.
I don't know about fetish. It's just a question that you never questioned anything in your whole life, not once.
Military.
I will never question my superiors because I understand. I understand.
He'll never admit to it. Yeah.
No. See, I will never question them because I understand the message.
Yeah, but you weren't military 2 years ago.
Fair. I wasn't military 3 months ago.
I was being generous.
Yeah, back then he was just gay.
Anyway, doesn't matter. We've done a show, ladies and gentlemen, and I appreciate it. So we are going to bounce on out of here. But before we do, let's go ahead and let people know where they can find us all. I'm going to start with Should Do because, you're right there. It's kind
somewhere
of
in a foxhole.
It's your
Howdy,
turn.
everyone. Yeah, Shadow the Hawk, and I'm personally myself not doing anything crazy, but my buddy Champions of the Ice is he's got some stuff in his life sorted out, so he's going to be turning up the production for his setting by the same name, Champions of the Ice. I've showed it here before. It's a post-apocalyptic, far future setting. He's really hammering home trying to get a demo version of his game done, focusing primarily on the Ruined America, which is a confederacy of a bunch of different American-inspired factions like Texaco, Abasoroka, which is Native Americans, Appalachia, I'll let you guys figure out who that is, versus the Evil Wendigo, which are basically the WEF, but they actually eat people, and they make things like harpies and minotaurs and chupacabras to do all the fighting for them. So if that sounds really fucking interesting to you, go check him out on Twitter. You can also find his coffee page, and I believe he will be streaming tonight also on Twitter, going through the design and creation process, either the world building or the game itself. And if any of that is at all interesting to you, you can donate on his coffee page. Some even as low as like $1 a month helps get art made, helps him justify the time that he's doing on the coding, helps him justify the time he's doing on the gaming creation process, and creates new content for us to enjoy as the current landscape of Disney, EA, and all that shit continue to take a piss out of our market.
Fair enough. How much should I pay you to show for me?
He's not paying me shit. I'm paying him. I'm paying him a fuck ton of money for his setting because of the amount of bullshit I tell him, like chupacabras that play mariachi music, for instance.
All right, fair enough. Well, if y'all got all of that, you know where to go now.
Yeah. Oh, I'll toss his account in the chat, or at least Sam's chat.
Yep. Next up, we got Abe. What you got going on, buddy?
Everything ever. Find me everywhere. Abe's gonna get you.
He's everything everywhere, Abe at once.
Yeah.
That should be your title.
I got a bounce.
All right. Yeah. Sasquatch, your turn.
Tomorrow, Blast Radius, 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday, American Justice of Texas, now AJOT, and the Naughty Corner, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm pretty predictable on this point. Otherwise, you can find me most anytime the Powdered Dusty's streaming. I'll either be backstage or on panel. Raging Tomato sometimes. 007, if you're into that kind of shit. He does music at random times. Everybody else does random times. I don't really have schedules, so I really can't help you with that. But Caucasian Sasquatch, give me money.
Indeed. And Devil.
Yeah, you can find me at the pub on Fridays going into Saturday. That's it.
Okay. All right. As far as myself goes, obviously we do this show here every week, except remember 2 weeks from now, we're not doing a show because I'm going to be getting wasted elsewhere.
Yeah.
But we will be here next week and the week following 2 weeks from now. So, it's just, I'm just taking a weekend off down the road. Also, don't forget that we have pinned at the top of the bottom of the chat now on YouTube because they fucking moved the pin. Gals Give Send Go link. So if you are able to help, then please do. If not, please share it out. I think $6,000 is pretty reasonable, and I think they're at a little over 4,100 now. That said, I don't know. I do stuff elsewhere. If she goes live tonight, I'll be on Exiled Linus 2, helping her out. If not, then we'll be a little earlier with the game streams later tonight. We've got Abyssal Musings next Friday. Beelzebub after that. And then back here. So that's it. That's all I got. Thanks for coming. Thanks to everybody on the panel. You guys are awesome. Their links are in the description below. Even Shadoo's defunct channel link is down there. He does still have content up. Go watch that. Support him, even though he's in the military and can't do anything about it now. Everybody else, all their shit's in the description as well. Thank you guys for being here and being awesome. Thanks for putting up with the bizarreness at the beginning of the stream. And to you, chat, have a great one. We'll see y'all soon.
Bye.